Come into the room, family. Welcome. I am the H-Town vet. I am the H-Town vet. Come into the room. I am the H-Town vet, and I would like to welcome you to our channel, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. Come into the room, family. Welcomes. We're so glad that you are here. Give us a moment to check our sound. Well, let's get started. Let's see what's going on. Let's check in with the family. We see that you're here. You're here in force and early. That's what I like to see. Hit that like button, family, if you haven't done so. Happy Easter to everyone. Our 66 Love says, blessed Sunday, H-Town family. Yes, indeed. For those that recognize and honor Easter, the day that Jesus rose from the dead in the Christian belief system. Now, Jay Oliver said, happy Easter, family. Yes, indeed. Then we have Betty Bob say, H-Town, hope you are having a fabulous weekend. Happy Easter. Thank you. I am having a wonderful weekend. Benny came through. Benny said, hello, H-Town. Give me a second here. Let me put that up on so we can have your little comment streaming. Benny says, hello, H-Town vet and the chat family. Happy Easter to everyone. Then we have our sister, Grace. Now, who birthday? See what it is. Y'all birthday's coming up. Somebody's birthday's tomorrow. Is that you, Betty Bops? Then we have Brother Sean in the room. Brother Sean say, good evening, everyone. Oh, so glad that you are here. My brother Sean, hope you working out. I don't know if you've taken those that CMP exam for your shoulder yet. Jay Oliver's in here. And Grace says, wonderful evening all. Yes, indeed. Happy Easter and all that stuff. If you celebrate Easter, put some Easter emojis in the chat. If you celebrate, we good. We'll celebrate Ramadan, whatever you celebrate. We'll celebrate it. As long as ain't no devil worship. We ain't doing that. Now listen, okay, let's see. Then we have Jason M in the house says, hello, H-Town family, happy Easter. So glad you're here. 66 say like and subscribe. We really would appreciate it. Yes, H-Town Resurrection Sunday. Say on the third day he rose. Now, I'm just going through catching, make sure I don't miss anyone. H-Town, did you get my question? I have to look for it. I haven't looked at the email, but I'll look at it. H-Town, you have your water? Yes, I'm almost out on this one, but I went and got me another one. Glad you said so. Should have brought two, but I don't like getting them warm. You know, I like to have them cold. Jimmy in the house. Everybody show love to Jimmy. Let's see what we got here. And we getting right into it. Oh, they say happy birthday to Betty, Sister Betty. Everybody showing happy birthday. I'm sorry. Say my birthday is tomorrow, April the 6th. Let's say happy birthday to our sister, Betty Bobs. Can y'all do that? Show us some love. Grace already done it. Betty Bobs, she's on the bunnies. And then Benny say, happy birthday, Betty Bops. Then we have Brother Sean in here say, had the CMP on Tuesday, got the decision letter on Friday, denied, 1 day turnaround, LOL. We got to get that long narrative, see what's going on. And Betty Bob say 13 likes and 12 watching. Do you have a representative, Sean? And we'll get into it a little later, but just answer that one for me. Wish you a happy birthday, Betty Bob. Yes, indeed. So let's get with this, and we thank y'all so much, family, for being here. We 6 minutes in, we get into it. Now, family, this channel, we're meant to be working together, involved, interactive, supporting each other. Yes, we come for the information also, but we want to create a stable environment. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Sean. That happened. We're going to do what we can to help you. Now, here's the thing, family. We're trying to focus on going the right direction. As y'all see, y'all noticing why H-Town put up this information. You say, why you keep repeating it? Because I want y'all to be aware when people come into the room, they'll catch you off guard. Remember, for a long time, I wouldn't put no rules up. Then people start, hey, let's go over here. Hey, let's do this here. Hey, chicken butt, all type of weird stuff. So we have to make sure we stay on topic. And I hopefully y'all learn from me the way I handle business. I'm very methodical, believe it or not. So don't be distracted by fake news, hoax, and all these other things. Stay focused on the mission of the H-Town Vet channel, to be interactive and supportive. To do that, we need to know the rules. So for those that are new or those that need a refresher, rule number one, I will be respectful to host and chat by staying on topic. While staying on topic, really, that's what it should. That's all right. Number two, rule two, I will not attempt to network or promote myself or others in the chat. Hey man, I'm on this bomb channel. I'm leaving here. I'm going over there. We don't do that. If you don't do that on other people's channel, you shouldn't be doing it over here. And I wouldn't want you to do that. Now, number three, I will not divert chat members away from the channel. All in the bricks right here, family. Better say thank you so much. Now, where's OT? Did I miss OT? OT just slipped in there. Everybody show love OT. Have a very happy birthday, Betty. We're going to get to the bottom of it, Sean, do what we can to help you. Because I know I was denied several times. Appeal it. That's right. Let's see. Okay, so I just signed on a new representative. Okay, that's good. That's good. I was insurance sales. Use my rejection. Okay. I'm used to rejection. Use insurance sales. Now, family, let's get to it. Thank you for being here, family. And we want to get to the information for tonight. Trolling will not be tolerated. But trolls don't think they're trolls, okay? So what do we mean? We got to break it down. People that come in and waste time by distracting us off the topic for tonight, by centering themselves, doing things that disrupt the channel. Gotcha. I knew this here. Oh, I was over there. This other person don't like you. All that type of stuff. Sitting there, keyboard warrior, fussing at the screen, doing things that are not constructive will not be tolerated over here. Odd behavior, weird statements, like that devotional scripture pervert. That's what they use, devotional scripture. Then was foul. Yeah, that was that expert troll, most likely. Now, family, you will get a chance at the end. If you still want to chat about other topics, you can do that at the end during the after party where you can join the conversation. Now, remember, sign up, and I'm needing to do it too, eBenefits and all of the apps that we talked about, and we're going to probably do a program on them where you can access your information, VA information easier, healthcare and disability compensation. If this information, family, hit that like button, hit that like button. You haven't had a chance, hit that like button. Yeah, it's gonna get a turnaround positive. Now, you say at least not a used car salesman, but hopefully with the new rep to clear things out for you all. And the first thing you want to ask them is what you think went wrong and see what they're saying. Thank you for coming to H-Town Vet live stream. Keep on topic, and all comments will be answered in real time if it is on topic. Please respect the host, H-Town, and the live stream chat. Thank you so much. Wonderful, sister. Smash that like button, family. Okay, now all questions and comments should be related to the topic. It's time to get on topic, and let's do this. So, family, they're going to get ready for the topic of today. Give me a second. I gotta. All right, all right. And the topic for today is we're going to talk about specifically, is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and veterans who served during the Gulf War era? So for you to understand that there are really two periods of war, because the Gulf War era, which started in, well, let's talk about Vietnam. Vietnam War started August the 5th, August the 5th, 1964, and lasted until May 7, 2000. Let me start over. I don't know why I'm putting all these years on there. Give me a second. Let me take this down. Give me a second. That banner's got me trouble reading. So I apologize for that. So the Vietnam War started August the 5th, officially, 1964, and ended May 7, 1975. They had advisors there before that, but they wasn't officially fighting. Now we have U.S. Army. Grunt says, H-Town, Vet Northside. Hello, sir. Hope you had a great Easter day. I did. And everybody's speaking. That's wonderful. Now, so that was a period from 75 to 1990 when the Gulf War broke out, August the 2nd, 1990 to present. So there's an ongoing war on terror. There's an ongoing war as it relates to we're fighting in the Middle East. So the Iraq War hadn't really stopped officially. Okay? It has not stopped officially. So let me see what I got. So that was the question. Is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and veterans who served during the Gulf War era? In your opinion, what do you say? Yes or no? Tell us how you feel about that question. Before we get started, we have Doc Shelley in the room, said, happy Easter, sisters and brothers. Happy Easter. Everybody showing love to Doc Shelley. I'm probably just going to put the comments over here. Yeah. Now, so answer that question for me. We can answer it a little later. Yeah, I can go ahead and chill with it. That's the question we're going to be trying to answer tonight. We're going to let us display the information, present the information, then you can make your decision then. How about that? And they say 1978 to 91, terror in Europe in between wars. For me, and I feel the fall of Berlin Wall, I was there for that one. I was there for the fall of Berlin Wall too. Now listen, let's talk about it, family. So the Vietnam era, we're gonna deal with a couple of them. The Vietnam era in particular. All right. This is one that's a real defining war because that was a turning point. Then we have Big Blue in here say, as a Vietnam veteran, I feel there are mainly because of the S. Now tell me, I couldn't get the clear. If there's any Vietnam veterans or Vietnam era veterans you served during the era, please just put Vietnam in the chat. Vietnam veteran, because you can be a Vietnam after, because some of you are too young to go over to Vietnam or you didn't get. Let us know. Everybody show love to Big Blue. Now, clarify that up because I couldn't read it good. I was trying to get your statement, Big Blue. But thanks to the Vietnam veterans. And we're going to also talk about the Gulf War veterans, meaning starting with the war that I was in, Desert Storm, all the way up until present, Afghanistan, Iraqi, and all the other conflicts in between up until now in Iran. So the first thing we're going to use to contrast, and we're talking about the question, remember, is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans who served during the Gulf War era? I mean, is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and veterans who served during the Gulf War era? Yeah, the first difference is they're different generations, okay? The Vietnam veterans tend to be baby boomers for the most part, and those of Iraq, the Iraqi era to the present, of course, goes from us Gen Xers, which I'm a Gen Xer, all the way up to millennials. So it covers a larger time period. Yeah, I do recall the Berlin Wall falling too. Now, family, let's talk about it. But for you to know, they have the silent generation, those born from 28 to 45. And then you have the boomers who were born between 1946 and 1964. These numbers kind of change at times, so don't sweat it too much. Then you have the Gen Xers, which I'm a part of, that were born between 1965 to 1980. And then you have the millennials born between 1981 and 1996. But these are general things because they kind of change it. Listen to what U.S. Army Grunt say. I was stationed in West Berlin from 1988 to 1991 and was on alert and doing wall patrol doing it. Yeah, my what do they call it? Reforger or something when you go up there and guard the gate. I was in Germany, but as soon as I got my duty, I just got back from guarding the wall. I mean, literally that week. And I had I got 4 days off when I first got there because they had just got back because I was attached to them. Big Blue say, I meant because of the way we were treated by the VA. Our records are handwritten and very memorable. Yes, I got you. Benny say, shout out to the boomers. Love you guys. Any boomers in the house? If you're a boomer in the house, you can put a cannon emoji in the chat, or you can put the word boomer. Any boomers in the house? Let me know what any boomers, any Gen Xers, put something that symbolizes Gen X. I'm gonna put any Gen X. You can put what you are in here. I'm a Gen X. If you want to put boomer, you can put boomer. If you're a millennial, you can put a millennial. I doubt if you're a Generation Z. If you're a Generation X, put X in there. Let us know. H-Town Gen X. I was born 1968. Doc Shed say boomers are the absolute worst generation. What generation are you? Let's talk about it. Sean is Gen X. Benny is Gen X. Doc Shelley is Gen X. Okay. I thought you was criticizing your own. Jimmy Elmore, Gen X. Now listen. U.S. Army Grunt says that in Germany in the 1980s, we had terrorists attack U.S. bases and tried to kill soldiers back then. Yeah, they actually kidnapped a colonel, remember, and took his life. They had a few boom booms went off on the bases. Betty Bops is Gen X. So is 66 Love. Now, U.S. Army Grunt is a boomer, okay? Big Blue is a boomer. Grace is a boomer. Here's the thing, family. You notice we don't have millennials, and that's why I'm wondering, is there a divide as you get further up? Because we very seldom get millennials in here, unless somebody's faking like one. U.S. Army Grunt says B.G. Dozier was taken prisoner. Okay, I think I remember that name. Husband is a boomer. Okay. Family, I'm learning stuff here today. Family, we talking about it. Now, dealing with the boomers. We're going to start with them first. And you being boomers, y'all can say what y'all would like to say, okay? But we're talking about, you know, how that's what Major Boomer said, his daughter, okay, boomer. Do y'all think y'all get a hard time? But especially those that served during the Vietnam time frame. Boomers. Many of them are boomers. Back then, starting in, they was, you know, they grew up in the 1950s mainly, 50s and 1960s. They came of age, right? Remember cars like this? Hey, where's the front dash display? Huh? Where the LED lighting? I don't see it. But these were some nice, well-built cars. Well-built cars. Many of them around. Some of them around. Who remember the diners? You know, you might be from later generations and remember it too. But who remember the diners and the jukebox? Who remember that? Who remember those vacuum cleaners? And back then, more women were at home, staying at home, raising the children. And that was a lot different. What do y'all remember? Tell us what you remember. Chevy too. Okay. What do y'all remember being a boomer about your childhood and teenage years? Remember these telephones. Of course, they were past your generation, but we setting the stage here. Uh-oh, if you want the type right. Chrome diners and kitchen tables. You remember them in the kitchen. The tables were in the kitchen. Now, remember, you didn't have a computer or a laptop. You had a manual typewriter. Am I lying? Who remember the hippies? If you was a hippie in here, put the peace sign in the chat. Anybody in here was a hippie, put the peace sign in the chat. And back then, this was a time when there was segregation was in full effect. IBM typewriter, I started on the manual typewriter. Okay, I did too. And Black people were segregated, separate water fountain, eating facilities, restrooms. So this also defined this time frame. And the Black Power movement. Jason M., which played a big role in the military during the Vietnam, because I'm going to explain something about the Vietnam era that was different from all other wars. Now, let's talk about Gen X's. And I'm going to do that a little later. Jason M. say he was a hippie. Doc Shelley, how you feel about that? Jason was a hippie. I knew some hippies. They were cool. Whoa, bro. Cheech and Chong, I think they were hippies. Now, Betty Bops, I remember the manual the manual typewriter had type 60 words per minute. Wow. I remember that was a thing, being able to type 60 words per minute. Jay Oliver say, I am a boomer. Jay Oliver say, I'm a baby boomer, but post-Vietnam and Cold War, Beirut bomb attack, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. So you're right on the end of it. Some boomers didn't make it to the right outside the Vietnam era. Now, Jason M say, I remember had to type on a typewriter for reports. And a lot of people wouldn't know this. U.S. Army George says, I was a flower child, LL. Hippie, hippie. Doc Shelley say, hippies are disgusting. Hold on, we got some hippies in here. Clean up the language. We came after Doc Shelley, so we don't know. Cheech, Up and Smoke. Yes, indeed. I remember those. Yes, indeed. I used to watch them. I wasn't supposed to be watching them, but they were funny. And the Beatles, yeah, the kind of, they kind of, and some people, you ever heard them sing live, they got better as time went on. Jason M says, I had long hair down the middle of my back until I joined the Navy. Who went into the military with long hair? I want y'all to be honest. Me, 1988, the brothers were wearing low fade, so I already have hair faded, but they made me cut my waves out of my hair. I was hot. They cut my waves out of my hair. Who had long hair going to the military? Put a hair emoji in the chat. Sean say, the hippie turned into yuppies, LOL. Let's see what we got here. I was a kid that raised by degenerate hippies, junkie. Oh, don't say that. I know, but come on, okay. I ain't gonna get it. Don't be too hard. Look, let me see what I had a mohawk. I had a mohawk in the 80s. I wore it for a short time. Yeah, I did. Doc needs a hug. Everybody give Doc a hug. We can't give you a hippie hug though, right? The whole family coming in. Now he said I had a mohawk. I had a mohawk too, brother. So these are generations. The main one for dealing with baby boomers is I always long hair for you. Okay. If you were a junkie raised by heroin junkies, don't be mean, stop being mean. We ain't gonna pull them comments up now. I want Michael Jackson pants back then also. Yes, indeed. Now, family, listen. I think he was a boomer. Generation X, my generation. This coming in the 1970s. We grew up in the 1970s. You know, it started by 1965, 1966. I was born the same year Dr. King was assassinated. Betty Bob say 20 likes and 21 likes and 20 watching. We thank y'all for really hitting that like button. It means a lot to us. And family, I saw something where it was saying on my channel about super stickers. Did y'all see anything about that? So I don't know if it's monetized. Who remember these televisions? Now, when I grew up, we didn't have no color television, and it was foil, and we had a pair of pliers, a channel lock pliers on the thing when the knob would fall off, and it was sitting on top of the big TV we had. Why those big TVs always went out, huh? So I'm a Gen Xer. Who remember this here? Who remember the afros starting in the late 60s all the way to the 70s? It became big afros. Who had an afro in here? If you white or whatever else, some of you had afros too. Don't lie. Jay Oliver say, my female relatives mostly were maids. I lived in the deep South. Okay. Jimmy say he had a black and white television. Mickey Mouse ears. Okay. Who had it? You say, love the big froze. You love the big froze. Only had 3, 6, and 12. It wasn't about 2 or 3. It wasn't that many channels. Man. Family. Who walked around there picking their head? Who remember that? I remember the cassette tape. Now I remember, because I'm an early Gen Xer, I remember 8-tracks as a little child, but by the time I was growing, it was cassette tapes. They last all the way to the early 90s. Now let's deal with millennials. These are the other groups that are part of the Gulf War era. I mean, Iraqi War era, okay? Being the Gen Xers and the millennials. The Vietnam veterans major are boomers. Yeah, 8-tracks, yes indeed. I remember the 1976 Bicentennial. I remember that. Boom boxes, yes indeed. Now we're getting into the 80s, yes indeed. Gen Xers. Now millennials. Y'all can keep commenting about whichever one you want. Come around 1980. My sister was born in 1982. Curtis Mathes, floor model television. Man, I haven't heard that in a long time. Curtis Mathes, floor model television. I forgot all about that. Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's the way of the world. Come on. What you know about that, Grace? So if you are a millennial, you grew up you were born and raised in the 1980s, in the mid-1990s. And we know y'all, because we did it too, the color, Lord have mercy. In the 1980s, we started wearing a lot of color. Huh? I was a teenager to adulthood then. John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever, yes. Yes, indeed. Color, who remember the color? Did you color y'all hair? Anybody colored their hair in the 1980s? In the early 90s? All the clothes were colorful. Huh? Who looked like this? Who had this type of stuff in the 1980s? Remember those Swatch watches, those plastic watches? Grease Lightning. Yes, indeed. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Man, I remember that. Yes, indeed. What was your favorite movies of your genre? Tell me which era you was in, if you want to. Yes, I colored my hair. What color was it? Grace, did you color your hair? Doc Shelley, did you color your hair? The watch with the calculator. I remember that now. Remember I remember when they wouldn't let us use calculators in the classroom. We had to do everything by hand. Man, Valley Girl, what was your favorite 80s? Being a Gen Xer, my favorite 80s, because you know, the millennials came along. Then there's Gen Z. And Gen Z is like my daughter's age, so they just started. Valley Girl with Nicolas Cage, 16 Candles, all that. The big hair, I hear y'all down there. Doc Shed say, blue, green, red, and black. Yes, indeed. Dark brown to black. The big hair bands. Yes, indeed. What about what those leotards? Remember? It was Auburn. Okay, your hair was Auburn. The Outsiders loved that movie. What movie from the 1980s did y'all really like? I like The Officer and the Gentleman. But of course, The Outsiders was cool, the best too. I like Poison Motley Crue. Okay. Then Grace says, now dark brown and golden highlights. I forgot about the highlights. Jaws, 77 Jaws, I like. And also, really, my movie was Halloween. Valley Girl, great movie. Yes, indeed. What, during the 1980s, tell us some great movies. What about The Breakfast Club? What did y'all like that? I love all those movies, man. We're reminiscing right now. We got about October Vet says howdy. Oh, now The Lost Boys. I didn't see that till later. I didn't see the whole complete thing. Movie like The Lost Boys, very good. Sean says Gen Z think they're discovering everything that's new to them. Yes, indeed. Oh, that movie there, the 80s was Poltergeist, the 70s. 80s was Poltergeist and Nightmare on Elm Street. Exorcist, the late 70s. Jaws was scary. Yes. So was The Exorcist. Everybody show love to October Vet. Now, Gen Z, that's here. He's born like what? 97 to 2010, somewhere around there. They grew up around in the 2000s, like my daughter. And boy, we didn't have to say, but one thing about them, and they can defend themselves, boy, they got that camera in their face, don't it? Tell us your favorite movie. Tell us your favorite movie from these times. I'll tell you, come on, tell me your favorite movie. Come on. Everybody show love to Solaris coming in here. Everybody show love. You put your favorite movie. I'm gonna tell you the best movie of all time, Red Rum. Was that the movie, or was that you talking about The Shining when they said that? Which is murder spelled backwards. Oh, I should say that. This is my favorite movie of all time. Came out in 1982. This is my favorite movie of all time, The Thing. Tell me some of your favorite movies. All the movies y'all mentioned, I like them too. Let me see what we got. Starting in October Vet says Terminator, the original one. That was the best one. I don't think you could beat that because you had several actors doing good. We're going through the time, the generations of veterans who served during different wartime and their experiences in the civilian side of the game too. So Laura say, hi all, thank you so much. Said red wrong. Now, let's see. I'm gonna let that be up there. My favorite movie was The Thing. Benny was Rambo. Let me see. Braveheart, best movie of all time. Okay. I couldn't watch it because I heard, I ain't gonna give a spoiler word, but John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah, not the one in 2011. The Godfather. Yes, one of my greatest movies of all time. Back to Future is one of my favorite action comedies. I like The Thing. I like it because of the paranoia. Yes, indeed. Scarface, First Blood. That was a good movie. Y'all like sci-fi horror films? And now, what would you consider sci-fi horror films? Like Aliens? What would you consider, my brother? Then Tears Under the Sun, Bruce Willis. You know, I never watched that movie, but everybody said it was good. Some movies that, oh yeah, Don't Play with Rambo. But Full Metal Jacket was pretty good, spot on to me, you know. And Hamburger Hill wasn't bad. Family, now you see how we have different generations we go is my all-time favorite author. Come on, tell me your all-time favorite movie. If you haven't put it in there, I need you to put it in there now. I already told you, Grace says her all-time favorite is Arthur. My all-time favorite is The Thing. And I'm more of a suspense. Well, that was a lot of suspense and thriller in there, yes, indeed, and horror. Now we're going to talk about it, family. 66 say The Untouchables. Oh, excellent movie. Now, family, when veterans are serving, and we're talking about in particular, so you'll be clear, we're asking the question, is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and veterans who served during the Gulf War era? You can keep answering the question about your favorite movie, no problem. Yes, there's a difference. One main difference is what type of, where they served at. Vietnam is in what? South, I want to say South East Asia. And Desert Storm is in the middle, what they call the Middle East or Western Asia. All right, in Iraq, Kuwait, places like that. Now, and there's different geographical differences also. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Hamiltonville Horror was too scared for me to watch. That movie was too scared. I don't know why I ain't like that. Nightmare on Elm Street. Look like you can never take him out. Good. Oh, that's one of Denzel Washington's first movies. Him and I forget the brother that played and the captain in that. Man, that dude was on point. Now, the way Dudley Moore said in the end of the course, I accept the money. I'm not crazy. I remember Dudley Moore was Arthur. Yes, indeed. Sean, I went to the Navy because the chair force said I was too dumb to join the chair force. You had a good child. Okay. Now listen to what Oktoberfest say. The big difference in how they were treated by civilians between Vietnam and the global war on terror, or they call it the Iraq War. They call it the continuous Iraq War too. Yes, they were treated different. We're about to talk about that. One, they were in different environments. In particular, when they was dealing with different environments that they were fighting under. When it came to, remember, most of the uniforms used to be green, because it was jungle warfare in Vietnam for the most part. There was some urban fighting or things like that, and Iraq wars in Afghanistan, more of desert warfare, open areas, less jungles, or any jungles at all. Now we have, OT says, Vietnam vets weren't welcome, while Gulf War vets were celebrated when they came back. Yes. So that was the issue with me. I was coming back in uniform, and I hadn't been home in over 2.5 years or so, I think. And, I was over in Germany, and we deployed directly to, to Saudi Arabia. And then we drove to get our vehicles and went to Kuwait. Well, when I got back, coming on my way back home, when I got back to Germany and was coming back, I heard the horror stories of how they treated Vietnam veterans, spitting on them and talking bad, calling them child, unalivers and things like that. And that didn't happen to me. They was nice, cordial to me. But I remember it. Say, I agree. And I agree too. It was rough in that jungle. I can imagine. I can tell it. I can imagine it's hot, animals, and here we go. So that's the big difference between the. So you'll understand that's the big difference between how the veterans experience during the Vietnam era was mainly jungle they were fighting in. So they had green BDUs. Gulf War era, they mostly sand, mountainous sometime, but it was mostly open area. Here's the thing. I was over there and I wore a green uniform to the last 2 days that I was in Iraq. Did you hear what I said? Because we was on a tank, so they didn't think it was necessary for us to have brown uniforms. They gave it to the infantry. Say, San Diego Marine says, evening, veteran family. Everybody's showing them love. Yes, indeed. So the terrain was different. The animals. I did not know they had tigers in Vietnam. Did they have tigers over there? That's what it said. I know it's tigers, but I mean, they wasn't that prevalent, were they? They said it was tigers, some of the bigger animals. The biggest animal I saw in the desert was a camel, of course. So that's a contrast in an environment, contrast in wildlife. We had brown uniforms. Yeah, I got the brown uniforms 2 days before I left Desert Storm so we could come back and they could videotape us getting off the plane in brown uniforms. Got them 2 days before with all my stuff sold on. I think something was sold on it. What type of wildlife do you remember? They had them desert spiders, which are gigantic. Now, I heard these monkeys in Vietnam that they would throw stuff back at you. Is that true? I heard that these monkeys, I forget the name of these monkeys. Don't forget about Apocalypse Now. What Vietnam movie comes to your mind? I know you said Apocalypse Now. What about the one with Charlie Sheen? What was that called? What was that one with Charlie Sheen? That one really was something else. Service members from Korea weren't treated like the ones from Nam. No, they call it the Forgotten War. You remember Camels over there? Yes, indeed. They made a movie about it. Platoon was the name of that movie. Yes, indeed. Everybody showing love, and he's showing love too. San Diego Marine. I got it on the screen right now. So, fam, let us continue. So, if you're in a jungle environment, when they were in a jungle environment as Vietnam veterans, it was a lot different. You're dealing with a lot of water, rivers, creeks, vegetation, animals. Platoon portrayed Vietnam soldiers in a bad light. It could have a negative effect when they sensationalize certain things. What thing in particular? So you said even after the 70s were over, they were still portraying Vietnam veterans in a bad light. Now, that was a jungle warfare. When we come over to Desert Storm, what I was in, this is an M1A1 tank. That's where you stick your foot up on to get up on the tank. That was a mechanized war, okay? So the largest tank battle since World War II was in Desert Storm. In Vietnam, they did have tanks, but they had a limited use because you can't really do much with them in jungle. And if I'm wrong, any Vietnam veteran, let us know. But in other areas, especially in urban areas, they had some tanks outside the cities or whatever. Jay say Platoon. Now, this is a heavy one. Benny say the Deer Hunter that had great stars in that. Christopher Walken, Robert De Niro, that brother that played Fredo on The Godfather, he passed away. But he played in that. Did he play in that? Yeah, he played in that. Charlton say, sorry, late Ben, spreading Easter Bunny goodwill. Okay. Sparky in the house. Now, family, so it was a mechanized war. It wasn't that infantry couldn't play some roles. The Marines played they would come they kind of captured this little area. It wasn't highly populated, but they secured certain things. Most people were in vehicles. They would go into little towns, the Marines too, and the Navy played their part, but it was a ground war for the most part. It was an army war. Say we were testing the equipment to see how well they would work in the desert. Now our jets kept getting filled up with sand. The jet engines. I mean. Now remember, this is out in the open. This is a mechanized war, and it's a lot of sand, mud, dirt, depending on the terrain. Believe it or not, the terrain in Saudi Arabia is somewhat different as it is in Iraq. You see more little shrubbery, less beachy sand, and it's kind of I don't know if it was because they was dropping bombs on the ground. Looked kind of harder to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Because I wasn't there before they dropped the bombs. Then we went through. Hello, Charleston. Okay, he's talking to my brother. So let us continue, family. We're going to talk about it. And like I said, these were mechanized wars. Now they're moving in vehicles, less marching. Is that what's going on? So where in Vietnam, they were walking pretty much everywhere. because there was no practical way to get a vehicle through a jungle off the side of a mountain without clearing a whole bunch of brush. 15 minutes of rain, everyone was getting stuck. Yes. You know, I'm going to tell you something. They said that we going to a desert where it didn't rain. I was there from 1991, January 1st to May 2nd, 1991. It rained all the time. I ain't going to say all the time. Enough. I ain't know the desert could rain like that. Family, I learned something really important there. Let's continue. And as y'all come into the room, thank you for being here. And there was difference with what type of air support you would get. Many times and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, they would have airplanes come through and drop napalm and different things. But many of the helicopters were to extract or give support because there were very few places to land in the middle of, the combat operations, where we had air support in the form of those A-10s, Thunderbolts. And those jokers, I didn't like them. They made me nervous because they could destroy tanks. When that A-10 pilot came and told us, hey, put those yellow street guard orange, I said, why put that on top of tank? We say, well, we got air superiority, but we can't tell y'all from the enemy. I said, okay, they would say, put it up. We definitely put it up there. Because of the smoke we used, they couldn't tell the difference. Charlton say, I served the in-between years of 76 to 85. And I want to talk about that too. So being that military did Vietnam, tried to fight World War II style Vietnam, then after 80, SEAL team came out, Special Forces, 1990. So when they were there, the Special Forces, I can't speak for them, but they had a limited use. But they did some things like disable tanks and whatever else they did. But you pretty much, they would sneak around when the enemy's on one side take, they messing up the track because you couldn't do it so much in an open area. I'm sure they did other things that were top secret that I don't know. Charlton say Soviet Union, K put warfare change. Yes, indeed. Especially in 79 in Afghanistan when they had them big old helicopters and they were shooting them down with them rocket launchers. The Soviet lost just like we had the issue. We had to withdraw from Vietnam. Jimmy say we laid airstrips everywhere, man. Wow, Jimmy say. 66 Love say, don't call them tank killers for nothing. That's why I don't like them. Now listen, Sean says they forgot to tell you it rained in the winter and early spring in the Middle East. Hold on. Oh, okay. So I was actually there during the winter, January, February, March, April, and May. Oh, okay. But it didn't snow, so I thought it wasn't winter. Come on, fam. Are we doing this thing or what? Now, another thing we're going to get to is now diversity. We're going to deal with diversity in the military. There was less diversity in the military prior to Vietnam. And even in Vietnam, it was limited to certain groups. 66 say, they don't call them, yeah, I heard that one. We have 23 likes and 19 watching. Thank you so much. So understand this here. The Vietnam War was the first truly integrated war with blacks and whites. Now, it wasn't when the military was integrated. That was done in the 1950s during the Korean War, but the actual integration didn't take place until when people actually, when they started drafting them, everybody was piled together. That was during the Vietnam War. Now, they used to call it the Brown Shoe Army. Did you know that? See, my elders taught me all this here. But yes, this is the first truly integrated war. And they had some issues behind it. It got so bad that they were putting black people on the front line as shock troops and getting friendly fire from the people behind them. And or they were getting court-martialed, written up so much that in the 1960s, listen what I say, while Vietnam was going on, the U.S. government admitted that they had a problem in the way that they were treating soldiers, black soldiers. They admitted it, wrote it back then. It was almost like a war overseas. Now in the military, we have a lot of diversity in the military, more women. I think 11% of the military is still women, right? And you got people from different countries. Even some of the countries that we went and fought against, some people served from those countries too. A lot more diversity. Now, here we go. We talked about it earlier. This one I want to get to. And y'all tell me how y'all feel about this here. Family, the Vietnam veterans was treated real harsh. And that's something, that's a disconnect, family. That's a disconnect because what we're saying here is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and veterans who served during the Gulf War era. How do you think the Vietnam veterans, how do you feel that when many of us come back now and from the 90s on during the Iraq War era, and we're treated with, they give us military discount. They give us, parades and stuff. They had a parade in New York after Desert Storm. Does that bother y'all? Because, I want to know, I want y'all to be honest with us if you don't mind. Vietnam veteran era, those that served during the Vietnam era, let us know. Because that has to be really harsh, Let's see. Charlton say Betty Bob's ship made okay. Knew you would work party. H-Town kept him for skating. Oh Lord. Let us know, family. How y'all feeling about it? Glad you're here, brother. And one big thing you got to understand, we talk about the anti-war part. There was a lot of people protesting the Vietnam War. It was an unpopular war. It wasn't like a World War II. It's like we went and got in somebody else's business. It was part of the Cold War where the Northern Vietnam was going to be supported by Russia and other countries that are communist. So we say we're going to come in the Southern, we're going to prop up the government, support them. And then Kent State happened. They were there in protest, and the National Guard pull out weapons and start firing on the Vietnam War protesters. And at least 2 or 3 people lost their lives. Students, college students. Gulf War was the first war shown basically live on TV. Cable news changed things a lot. Yes, I heard that y'all were doing that. I heard that. Any other experiences that any other conflicts you want to talk about, or during the era, let us know also about the era that was doing when there was no war between 76 and 89. I missed those times because I came in when it wasn't no war for years. Now listen, Giallo say Grenada operation in 1983, Urgent Fury introduced the U.S. public to cheerleading for troops. Oh, that's what started that. See, you teaching me something now. This was a way to win hearts and minds for future combat operations. Media had to work for war after Vietnam. Oh, because nobody wanted to go back to a war because that became so unpopular, J. Oliver. So they were suspicious. So they had to, try to gym it up. Now, Jason say, who remembers man overboard drills while you were sleeping. Y'all must mean Navy stuff. Now, Charles said, because I don't remember. I heard that term before, though. Don't bother me. I don't use freebie meals. Some veterans, Vietnam veterans, do use mini spit. Yeah. That's it. Now listen what Grace says. Grace say, so what do you think about those who were in Qatar a few years ago and those planes had civilians before this deportation? I don't know. You got to give me the context. I don't know the context of it. What happened to the people? Was the plane shot down or what happened? Are they made to go somewhere? I don't know the context. Now, another thing that's different, would y'all say that mental health is treated differently now? There's more attention is focused on mental health during the what? During the Iraq war era. Vietnam, did they give y'all much treatment for PTSD, depression? Was there any focus on that at all? Or was it very, very little? From what I hear, that was limited. But more of it now. And that's thanks a lot to Vietnam veterans. And here in Houston in like the late 90s, early 2000s, they started pushing for it. And that we started getting in groups, talking to each other. And that's what we became empowered. They did. Then when I got there, they had pretty much started setting things up. They did it here in Houston, and and I was able to benefit from that. I don't watch the news. We don't have any business being there to begin with. I guess you're talking about Iran. So now listen to Charleston. We'll say more songs about Vietnam, then Iraq, war on terror, war. Yes, indeed. More now. I know my father didn't seek treatment. Yes, more help now. Jimmy say after 2000, when mental health took off. Yes, that's what it was. And I just happened to come through. And I think that's how my claim got approved, because my first one, 2004, 2004 wasn't approved until 2007 for 0%. We should just support the troops, not the war. I agree. Peace. Yes, indeed. So mental health became a big thing in the early 2000s at the VA. But many Vietnam veterans had been homeless for years by then. This is what I want you to understand, the disconnect. Where there were veterans of other wars who've been homeless, there was no real reach out. Was there any reach outs for homeless veterans back in the 1970s and 80s when they got out the military? Let us know. Sean said, I think back then they called it shell shock instead of PTSD. Yeah, shell shock. And before that, I think they used to call it soldier's heart too. They had several names for it. Charlton say PTSD wasn't declared till 1981. Okay. They had a different name, like soldier's heart, shell shock. Now, do y'all think that the transitional programs made it easier for veterans getting out with mental health, other ailments, physical conditions? Do you think that made it easier, like the TAPS program? That's what's different from what the Vietnam veterans experienced. There was no TAPS program. Now, technology for a Vietnam veteran and somebody that's a baby boomer like that, the technology was different. So when it came to communicating with other veterans, or when it came to try to get information about veteran benefits, it was limited. Am I right? Let me know. Those that lived during that era, let me know if I'm incorrect. There was very limited. ITAP 2004 sucks. Do you think that was toward the beginning of the TAPS program? What year did the TAPS program begin? Where you programmed for veterans, military members transitioning out of the military into civilian life? What year did that start, the TAPS program? Now, OT says, what program was that? I got out in the 1990s, no program of any kind. Now, did I say something about a program? Now, TAPS program, I don't know what year it came out. And one big difference between Vietnam era vets and those of the Iraqi, starting with Desert Storm all the way to the War on Terror and to Iran, what we're going on now, that technology is very different. Okay? Technology. So veterans now have more ways of communicating, learning about things, connecting with each other. Look at us, where we at now. During the time that Vietnam veterans got out, they weren't able to communicate like this. They may talk on the phone and see each other in person, or might mail a letter, huh? Now we have the technology that we can reach each other. Everybody show love to Sailor Jack. Show love, say hello to everyone. Hello to you, Sailor Jack. I remember you from Raiders Channel. Welcome. I am the H-Town vet, and I'm glad that you're here. I think you've been here before, but I remember you from Raiders Channel. Everybody show love to Sailor Jack. Yes, indeed. Y'all doing this thing. So the TAPS program did exist in 1992. That was only in Philadelphia Shipyard. Okay. They had something where they just showed us how to tie a tie. I don't know if that was TAPS. Everybody welcome. Yes, indeed. Look how y'all showing love to Sailor Jack. We thank you, and everybody else. Come on in. Let's do this here. So the technology for veterans after the Vietnam era became much more connected. All right. Vietnam veterans could never have connected in the way that we're doing. So that's why I feel like a lot of the programs, they need to be accelerated for them, because they were left and pushed to the side. Now listen to what our brother, and anybody of those eras, not just in the war, if you served during that era. My 1981 active discharge was 15 minutes, 3 pamphlets, good luck. Did they give you any information during your discharge? Let us know. Fam, did y'all get any information during your discharge? Now we have Sailor Jack says, Tony Galusas was on the Kitty Hawk. I was stuck on the U.S. Ranger. Okay. Is that right? You Navy man, right? OT say another squid. LOL, a bunch of us here, Jack. Yes, indeed. Now, family, one of the biggest problems with any veteran, but specifically those on the Vietnam era, because they caught the brunt of it, and World War II veterans caught it, and Korean War veterans, and World War I. But the ones that are still here now, they really catch it, is how slow the government moved. Well, we had a saying in the military, hurry up and do what? What do they call it, family? When you're in the military, they say to hurry up and what? We said in the Army. We have 26 likes and 21 watching. Thank y'all, family, for being attentive, being here, and showing the love that you're showing to Sailor Jack and the rest of us. Sean says, I found an old form from my ETS. The form listed the out process. The section for VA disability said NA, non-applicable. Can you believe that? I wonder who signed that for you. Say you to hurry up and do what, family? What did it tell you to do? What they say in the military? Hurry up and do what? Hurry up and what? One word. Hurry up and wait. That's right, Betty Bob. Jimmy say, hurry up and wait. So that's how I feel they treat us. So does Oktoberfest say, hurry up and wait. Now, listen to what Abra said. OT says, at least you got something about the VA when you got out. Got nothing when I got out. Man, I didn't get nothing, but it say, hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. I hear you, San Diego. I hear you. Hurry up and wait. Then he say, I don't know what that is. Look who in here, Henry A. 1975. Everybody show love to Henry A. We want to ask you, Henry A., and those that are new to the channel that came into the room, let us know if this is your first time. How did you hear about our channel, your branch and service that you're in? Now, I ask more questions than a jealous woman, so don't let me bother you. But we like everybody show love to Henry A. 1975. Please stand up, family. The military, the government might move slow, but we ain't gonna move slow in appreciating each other. This was the standard in the Marine. Oh, okay. Yes, indeed. And I got up on the screen, so I'm not going to pull every comment up now. Family, so the government moves slow. We found ways to improve that. Things got better. What changed to help make veteran getting in connection with their benefits in particular and their health care? What two things happened that made that easier? In my opinion, what you can tell me what your opinion. What things made veterans progress with the claim system easier? Anybody want to say? Let us know, family. That being able to get health care at the VA, learning more about your benefits. What changed after the Vietnam era, the baby boomer Vietnam era, even after the first part of Desert Storm? We didn't know nothing. What changed, fam, in the early to late 2000s? What changed? One senior, John McCain, number one senator, John McCain. I love John McCain. I got respect. Here we go. PAC Act. You still need to get educated, though. Yeah, the PAC Act changed things. Vets putting pressure on Congress. That's another thing. Oh, both of y'all cooking with Crisco. Yes, and see, by us supporting the a lot of these VSOs back, man, that was helping things. Family, y'all got some good information. Listen to what it is. October Vets say one was they added rules making TAPs required, so it wasn't optional. Did you hear that? The other was civilian vets working in the job telling junior folks that was up with what was up with the VA. Yes, indeed. People start talking. Come on now, family. Now listen here. Listen. Betty Bob say veteran dying before they could get their VA health care. Family, that made civilians concerned. See, all these things, unfortunately, we're walking over the graves of others to get our benefits because they were waiting on VA claims. How many veterans had claims pending and passed away before the claim was approved? Waiting for appointment at the VA hospital and passed away before they could get the appointment. Come on now, let's talk about it. OT say, not Sneaky Dougie, though. He makes more chaos and confusion on the changes they are implementing. Family, let's talk about it. Betty Bob say, veteran was in Arizona, had passed away, waiting a year for an appointment for a whole year. That should be a crime, man. That should be a crime. Benny says, YouTube, I started seeing veteran channels popping up. Now I need to see, he brought it up. Benny brought it up. Now I want to ask you this here. When it comes to your knowledge about VA benefits, VA health care, contacting other veterans, out of 100%, what percentage do you get from off of social media like YouTube and other things? what impact? Well, let's do it like this here. How important, let me ask you like this. How important is the information you get on social media like YouTube? And let me know. 1%. Okay, here we go. Out of 1 out of 10, let me do this. 1 out of 10, what would you give the importance of social media? 1 out of 10. You can put 0 if you want to. 1 out of 10. The importance of social media in helping you with your VA claim, knowing your benefits, knowing about how to access healthcare. 1 out of 10, fam. Let's see. 1 out of 10. Okay, so how important is being on social media? Because remember, Vietnam veterans there was no internet for them to access it. But now there's some of you Vietnam veterans and some of us can't do it. How important is it in a scale of 1 to 10? How is it important? I need everybody to respond. I need to know. And they're watching this here live, people. We got 24 people in here, and we got a lot of people you watch. How important? I'm gonna get to y'all answers, but I want y'all to answer. How important? What critical role did it play in you getting your benefits? Come on now, and understanding what the benefits are and protecting your benefits. Scale of 1 to 10. He say very essential. Now I'm about to get to y'all things. Henry says, I say Hollywood and filmmakers brought a lot of attention for what during Vietnam War. Yeah, that was, for better or worse, but they did do it. Some people say they would put a negative light, but I'm glad they put light on it. VAMC, Georgia is the worst. Okay, now listen, we about to go to y'all which columns. I'm catching up. Now Pastor Dougie, OT, shipmate will get H-Town Ralph for Pastor Dougie. Oh, come on now. Let's see. 1 out of 10. We about to pull. Let's see what y'all got. I want everybody. If you haven't even commented tonight, I want you to comment. Family, I need this is interactive. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pout. I'm going to roll on the floor, kicking my feet now. 1 to 10. How important was social media when it comes to your VA benefits? October says 8 out of 10. Jimmy Elmore, 10 out of 10. Benny say 10 out of 10. Jason say 10 out of 10. OT say 6, a lot better than nothing from the VA. Henry A. 1975 says, I would say 6, but there's a lot of bad information. Oh, it's coming out. Henry, we glad you're here. This is the problem. Why you gonna go? You already tell him a slideshow. I guess I gotta let you run the rest of it. God, dog, very perceptive, Henry. We need you here more often. Now listen, Charlton say 8. So wow. Now tell me now, family, what was y'all lacking before social media? Tell me what were you lacking? Instructions, information about benefits, how to file. What was the main critical thing that you was lacking before you got on social media? Let us know. Big Blue says 8, very essential. Say blank out of 10, give good, accurate information. Yes. 10 for Betty Box. 10 for brother San Diego Marine. Then Grace Smith say 10 because we were uneducated. Whoo, we didn't know nothing. Some of us, like myself, I didn't know there was anything such thing as a VA benefit. Why? Why was it so important to you? Why is it such a high rating for you or not a high rating? We was not educated on purpose. That's right. Everybody showing love. Betty Bob say 10. I knew nothing about community care until 3 years ago. How long has the VA been offering community care? You just learned about it 3 years ago? I don't know how long they had it. you choose discernment. You choose discernment. What information? Yes, you got to be real careful too, Grace. Knowledge of the VA process. What did y'all learn? Jimmy said learn instructions and information. Come on now. Now, listen to what October Vet learned. How things are rated, buddy statement, lay statements, and a lot more. So first thing I'm going to ask you is what things you learned, and I'm gonna be honest with you because I really got a lot of respect for this brother. Those of you that follow Radar HQ, what have you learned off of his channel? Okay, what do you learn from Radar HQ's channel? Let us know, because many of you are from over there, and some of our people went over there. What did you learn from his channel that you didn't know that helped put that 10 on the map? Let us know. Specifically, what do you gear into that helps you where you're lacking? Let us know. If you do go over there, if you get help. Let's see. So now listen to what Charlton said. System process of filing a claim, VSOs was only information source. Man, sometimes it seems like that. Sorry that happened to you. Henry A. say, support from community care is my biggest difference. Once you got off social media, so you learn a lot from social media on that. Okay. Sean says nothing is as easy as it seems or as they make it sound. Come on, family. It's all about you. You understand? Jason M. says, if you go see a VSO, they should educate you and help you more than just filling out paperwork. What if they don't have information to educate you with and all they know how to do is fill out paperwork? Dougie got a new video on the website. Somebody send me that video. Somebody send me Dougie video. If y'all got it, please, if you can get it to me, email it to me. I know the website, I think. Now, Jimmy Elmore say the Mission Act was passed in 2018. And we say, what y'all learned from Radar? Okay. You say, Pastor Dougie Marine. Is he? Okay. What have I not learned is the question. Woo! You learned a lot over here because we collaborating. Grace say, learn that the 38 CFR, the M21, and the one and out inside of a Raider's mind. Come on now. Y'all learn some stuff from Radar. And we asked them what you learned from Radar HQ. I want specifically from Radar HQ. Because we got to appreciate people that actually put us up on game. You know, help us out, support. Excuse me for my Southerns with my black slang. Now, Jay Oliver say the right form for the right claim phase. Please. That's important because you've been started something and put it on the wrong form. My VSO, not. Talk to the hand. Now, I ain't trying to pick on your VSO though. Benny says Radar HQ gives you the behind the scenes knowledge of what goes on behind the curtain at the VA. He gives you a roadmap with no detours. He don't take you to a secret room. John Mike, don't get mad. Not John Mike. Dasha, don't get mad. We talking about telling the truth about our brother. He does very good work and support. Been very supportive of me. OT say it's a very complex process. Was just lucky enough that I am done with it. Yes, indeed. Now, but stick around because we always pass out information by protecting your rating. Now, Sean say Houston VA Regional Office VSOs are worthless. If you was there about 10 years ago, you'd have been there with my man. It worked for American Legion, Mr. Rez. He was on point. He got me to 100%. Now, Henry A. say Radar HQ is a point of view from what actually the Raider side view. And that's important. Why is it so important for y'all to know things from the Raiders perspective? How has that benefited you to learn from Radar HQ from a Raiders perspective? What does that clear up for you? Let us know. Jason M. say, then that is not an educated VSO. They go through training. Yes, indeed. Still trying for the Hundo Club. We want you to get there. I'm always learning, so you absorb information. October Vet says this, that they follow the M21 over the law. Okay. You learn something. Okay. Yes, I claim it. Thank you. Oh, yes, indeed. We want you to get that 100%. Now, Jason M. says, I did not even know you could make an appeal on a decision until I discovered YouTube. I didn't know either. I let my year pass. I thought it was done. You know, I didn't really, after they said denied, I stopped reading. Charlton say Vietnam veterans only had county, state VSOs, Veteran of Foreign Wars, American Legions, didn't help. They didn't help. When did they start helping? When what you mean? What? I didn't know that. Back in the day, they didn't help. OT say, from the outside perspective, the claims process is a black box. Yes, indeed. Because we be thinking things about it that we don't even, that wasn't even reality until Radar cleared our buying up. Radar HQ to be exact. You haven't done so, go over there and join this channel and get that information that you need. Very good, solid information. He often comes over here and support our channel also. Now, San Diego Marines say, so you can know how Raiders think, so you can be better educated on the process. Now listen, it's like having the teacher score card. Yeah, and that's what it should be. You need to tell him that. When y'all over there, encourage him. Let him know. When you got people doing it right, you gotta keep supporting them, you know? Now, a lot changed after September 11th. So remember, by then, Vietnam War had happened and stopped. Desert Storm had happened and was complete. However, Sean says Raiders should be on Mount Rushmore. Yes, indeed. I agree. Now, are you going to be the one chisel the face in now? Can you do that artwork now, Sean? Let us know. Henry A. says the most important from Raider point of view, learning not to work as hard and keep things simple, not to put trash in claims. Oh, I like that. All that filler stuff. Now that's critical. That's one. I'm glad you do not put a whole bunch of extra trash in claims, extra stuff that's not needed. Stick to the facts and the point that support your claim. Jimmy Elmore, thank you for that, Henry. Says organizations are not much on help. Do you think that's because they're over? How can I say they got too many people they're helping? With all the available information, it's now up to the individual to get educated. Yeah, but we about to explain something somebody mentioned earlier, Henry in particular. Well, why that could be a problem too. Now, Jason M. say, my first VSO from the DAV lied to me and at the same time asked me to join their club. Tell them, call Tyrone. Oh, listen, U.S. Army grunt say, if I had all this information 30 years ago, I would have been 100% 20 years ago. Wow. Likewise, U.S. Army grunt, yes, indeed. Sean say, I learned that a denial is just a step in the process. I love that attitude, Sean. We're here for you. expect it and figure what to do next. Don't give up. Yeah, figure out why they denied you and you can move on with it. Now listen to what our brother says. U.S. Army grunt. Brother, it hurts to know I left a lot of money on the table, but today's veterans have the knowledge now. See, and that's when it becomes hard. That's the disconnect, what I'm saying. You know, when all these Vietnam veterans left money on the table, they were fighting. They couldn't get nobody to help them. Now it's easier. We can't lead them out. You know what I'm saying? Now, Sailor Jack say, there was always rude people in the offices when I went to seek help. Yes, same thing here. I got treated rude in the emergency room 4 days ago. This is what made myself and others happy to pay someone $1,499 for help. You know what? I never thought about that. If you're going to disrespect me and be rude to me, I work to pay somebody. They not yelling or talking down to me. Now, I get that. Respect, Sailor Jack. Now, Charlton says, before 9/11, 2001, veterans were sheep and lost. And remember, that change became more patriotic now, because that's the pivoting point. Vietnam veterans, many were drafted. When it comes to this, a lot of people volunteered after September 11th. That was what you call a game changer, and patriotism became the buzzword, right? OT says, took two and a half years to get my denial reversed. Thanks for a very knowledgeable lawyer. Let me ask you, anybody had a denial that took over a year to get reversed? That you got your denial reversed? How long did it take you? Grace says, my biggest step now is not screwing up the biggest connective system. Well, you ain't gonna mess it up. You just gonna keep getting informed. Now, fam, let us continue. We're glad that you're here. Now, one of the biggest things besides 9/11 happened, even though that was a negative event, is the fact that terror claims and the PACT Act, okay? This has made it a lot easier for veterans to do things. A lot easier. So remember, when Vietnam veterans got out, they didn't have this. Okay? Now understand that. Now, U.S. Army grunt say H-Town, vet, Northside. I don't normally talk about my percentage, but I went from 40 to 80% and 100% PT IU, but still have 5 body parts that I am sure are terror related. Touchy or no touchy, U.S. Army grunt? Are you going to let it slide, or what you going to do? Would it be your benefit to do something about a U.S. Army grunt? OT say the conditions that I was denied was not a presumptive condition, but was granted under terror. Okay. Now listen, if you were in any of these places during the Gulf War era and post 9/11 eligibility, okay, they're going to show first. I was in the first part. I was in bio. So on the date of August 2nd, 1990. Okay. On or after. Was I there? August 7th, 1990? Yeah. Because the war, I got there January 1991. Okay. I've been to Bahrain. I've been to Iraq. I've been to Kuwait. And I've been to Saudi Arabia. But the other ones are Ottoman, I think, Qatar, Somalia, and the UAE, the United Arab Emirate. Now listen, if you served on or after September 11th, that deals with Afghanistan, Djibouti, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Uzbekistan, and Yemen. Family, y'all are busy here. Say, U.S. Army grunt, I am there with you, and now going forward. And yes, Terry is going to play into it. Okay. U.S. Army Grunt says, for wife to get DIC, I am looking hard at it, thyroid and heart for sure. Okay, yes, indeed. Now, prayers that you stick with us though, as long as possible. And I'm trying to do the same. Jimmy Elmore said, I went from 50 to 70% to 90% and 100%. Now I tell you, I'm gonna tell you what I went from. I went from 0%. I'm gonna put them in there. If y'all don't have to put them mute on too. I'm trying to write down the ones that I was and how my ratings progressed over time, so y'all will know. So I didn't make it all in one day. These were my ratings, H-Towns. I went from 0% to 30% to 50% to 70% to 100%. All right. Jal would say, my denials were reversed in 3 to 4 months at most. All Gulf waters. Okay. USAG, if you were rated 100% over 10 years, she gets DIC. It does not matter if cause of death is service connected or not. Once they're there with that 10 years, if you have the condition if you have your 100% for 10 years, okay. Now, but isn't it true that they have to be married to him for at least a year too? Tell me if I'm correct. Jimmy Elmore say 15 service connected and 20 not service connected. Oh, San Diego, listen what San Diego Marine went from. How you go straight up to 70? I started at 0. Oh, look, am I hating? Am I dirty macking? Look, I started at 0, but that's a blessing, brother. Listen to San Diego Marine. I went from 70% to 90% to 100% TDIU PNT with SMC. Okay. And the lawyer helped you? Who helped you with that? I forget. Let me know who helped you. Did you do that yourself? Henry says, I went from 20%, 40%, 6% to 70%. OT say went from 40%, 70%, 100%. Span of 13 years. Family, y'all doing this thing. Y'all teaching me some stuff, and it's encouraging. Hope Sean and other people that's fighting for their benefits, this is a blessing and a help to you. October Vet says, the best of a bad situation. I got 100% on separation. Oh, yeah, now that's good, right? Getting out the gate. Benny said, I needed to get to SMCS. Yes, I need to get to it. Grace say from 40 to 90%. Well, if you ain't working, you can file for unemployability if your condition prevents you from working. Sean say presumptives aren't guaranteed, but it's still easier than non-presumptive. San Diego say, lawyer helped me from 90 to SMC. Oh, that's good. Jason say went from 60% to 90%. Family, y'all are doing so excellent. I thank you. Thank you. Now let's see what Jimmy Elmore said. Now with the Vietnam veterans, they got specific things for them under the PACT Act too. Even though y'all were denied for so many years. Jimmy Elmore say, I went through 6 different VSOs before I finally found the right one. How many representatives did y'all go through before you found the right one? I know I went through at least, I want to say about 2. How many representatives did you go through before you found the right one? Jimmy went through 6 different VSOs. Now, Jay Oliver said he went from 20% to 40% to 70% to 100%. Let me correct. 20%, 40%, 70%. Then he was 90%, then 100%. November 2023 to March 2025. You were moving. Now, I'm learning a lot here. San Diego Marine said H-Town vet Northside lawyer, also with SMCK too. Now I went through 2 VSOs. I know that. Texas Veteran Commission, but I kind of left my guy. The guy I was with first and went somewhere else. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't know I was signing over and I had to come back and apologize. I thought they could help me without a power of attorney. No, I had power of attorney. 2 different ways. Jason say 2 different representatives. OT say 1 representative. If you did it yourself, put in the chat if you handled your whole claim by yourself. Benny say 3 different representatives. Jason M say going on 3. Grace say 2. Henry A say 5 over 20 years. Woo! Oh boy, I gotta catch my breath. Big Blue say 4 different ones. Charlton, tell us how many, Charlton. I know you got a testimony to tell. Now, Oktoberfest said I went through 2 until I found one of the best VSOs represented. It was called YouTube. Now, Benny say 1 VSO retired on me. Oh, yeah, mine retired, but I got my 100% by then. I wish I could have him around to help other people like Sean that's in the area. 1 VSO, then found the best 3, me, myself, and I, LLC. Oh, you ain't dealing with nobody. Sean say, some VSOs act like gatekeepers. Like, that they shouldn't be doing that though. Now, family, dealing with the Vietnam veterans and the PACT Act, what's covered up under there? Dealing with especially radiation, toxic exposure, and Agent Orange. These are the conditions, a lot of them. So they opened it up the PACT Act August of 2022 to make it reach not just the Vietnam veterans, but this had a powerful impact in helping them with neck cancer, kidney cancer, melanoma, high blood pressure, hypertension. That's a big one. Chronic bronchitis, asthma. Come on, family. So this is some good things, but they had been denied for years. All right. So in the areas that they cover, and they came back to help them. That's why what we're talking about tonight, fam, I want you to understand. Is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and veterans who served during the Gulf War era? They getting stuff years later, and it ain't as long for us to get it. Even though it's been a 10 or 20 year period, maybe some of us may have been 5, but Vietnam veterans been waiting decades. Veterans who served in the following locations and time periods can enroll for health care now. If they were in the Republic of Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, certain provinces of Cambodia, Guam, Samoa, and Johnson Atoll, and high blood pressure is one of the biggest things that they're talking about that they can help you with. Family, where was this 40 years ago? Where was this 50 years ago? Now, hypertension, family, has anybody filed on PACT Act for hypertension? Huh? If you file for hypertension, let us know. Special consideration for hypertension. PACT Act hypertension is presumptive for Agent Orange exposure simply with service connection. Presumptive conditions, if your condition is presumptive, i.e., e.g., example, certain Agent Orange link issues, you don't need to prove a nexus. Come on now. Let me see if I missed something here. Oh, y'all talking to each other. Okay. If you put the S in them, I most likely ain't going to read it because it's between y'all. I did my SSDI first and then my VA disability. Is it important to do Social Security first? So which one y'all think important? Do Social Security disability first? Do VA disability first? Or it don't matter? Do both of them at the same time? Say hypertension. Okay. Is that hypertension? Hypertension. Mental health center. Okay. Handle my claims with self-study, prayer, and patience. Okay. You got to be patient. OT say, I did and got 0% with meds by way of terror. Okay, hypertension. Okay. Now, which one should I file, family? Should I file Social Security if I was trying to go for Social Security, or if I'm 70%, I'm going for 100% permanent total? What would you say? Then San Diego Marine say it depends on your evidence for Social Security disability insurance. It's true. That's true. OT say don't matter. Different criteria, VA and SSDI. Different criteria. With Social Security, you have to be totally disabled or not. VA, you're disabled in percentages. They denied me for, they denied me for, I'm taking this pain medicine, sorry. They denied me for Social Security disability. Oh, did they say why? Do they give an explanation, Benny? October Vet says VA first if you have the elements. I think it's easy. You think VA is easier than Social Security? Jimmy Elmore say, I had real good medical knowledge. Okay. Now, Big Blue say, I found hypertension linked to Agent Orange. Take 3 pills a day, got a 0 rating. What's the highest thing you can get? That ain't much. They ain't getting you no money. Seems like they should be compensated. You get 0%. Shouldn't they compensate you for it? Charles say always do VA disability first, then Social Security disability. Pyramid condition. With Social Security it's either all or nothing. Thank you for that, San Diego Marine. I just had my hearing for my Social Security disability. I fired my lawyer. Woo! What made you fire him? Okay, mental health, when I think about all those programs, okay. Boy, y'all are in it. OT say Social Security, disability insurance, yes, total disability. VA is actually easier if you know what you're doing. Okay. Anybody in here hired a lawyer? Let us know. You hired a lawyer, you got to the point you say, I hired a lawyer. A couple of them has already done that. Somebody just fired one. But Benny hired a lawyer. H-Town, I had to hire a lawyer. Okay. What was it about it that it was too much for you to do it on your own? Then we have Jason M say, I have hypertension really bad, but I'm rated 0% for it. I'm starting to see a lot of people rated 0% for hypertension, family. Let me turn this back on. I ain't gonna be able to pull all of them up. Y'all are going fast. Jimmy Elmore say 0% is the most common for hypertension. What's the highest you can get for it? So again, it's service connected, but it helps you if you pass away of the condition. If you're 100%, your family might get DCI benefits, but survivor benefits. OT say VA M21-1, Social Security disability -Blue Book. October Vet say, I think you only get above 100% for hypertension if the medicine doesn't work. San Diego Marine says, H-Town Vet Northside, I felt like she didn't have my best interest. Okay, that's a respect. We have 28 likes, 26 watching. Thank you. Sean say, I fired my lawyer. Who in there fired a lawyer, one of your lawyers? Come on now, let's get to it. Jimmy Elmore say, I started looking for one, but my claim came through. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull up everyone because it's on the screen right there. Charlton say, I hired a lawyer, not for disability. Don't trust them. GI. hello, Hanoi Hannah. Okay. Oh boy, you're the best. Sean say, they fill out a ton of claims, get denied, file high level review, get denied, then take it to the board and crash it on the back if board approves the claim. So they get denied early, that back pay billing up on their behalf. They can get between 20% to 33% of your back pay. Hypertension rating is so low, you have to be so dramatic to get a high rating. And we don't want to exaggerate. Yeah. Grace says med for hypertension doesn't work 165/90. Now, J. Oliver says that SSDI is have to be done to fit a grid rule. Okay. And those DBQ qualifications with high level review, what is that? With HDI is all there. Okay. I got high blood pressure when I had obstructive sleep apnea. Saying, now, family, we talked about it. Let's continue to get this information out the way. Here we go. Information overload. Now, family, sometimes you have too much information. But I want to ask y'all a question. I got to step away a minute. I want to ask y'all a question. Now, I want y'all to listen to me. You told me what you learned off Radar Channel. What keeps you coming here? Some of you have already said it, I know, but let people know, new people here, what is about this channel that you learned that has helped you benefit in any way, if anything. If I'm just a compliment to what other people are doing, good, but you're here for a reason. If you're here just for the social interaction, say that, okay? Then OT said, let me know, why do you come to this channel? What is it do you like about this channel? Let us know. We working to improve, of course. OT say social disability, if you are 60 plus, is a bit easier than the grid rule kicks in. That is, you are over 50 years old. Okay. So you come here for the benefits and knowledge, San Diego. Benefits, knowledge. Okay, thank you. Hopefully we're doing that. Try get in. Okay. I think I heard of get in. I think I like them. Now, I don't have no problem y'all mention law firms like that. It's just that, disclaimer, we're not promoting anybody, but if y'all want to suggest something to other people, check them out, verify. Jack Saylor. Just nobody else's channel, like nobody else, no other YouTuber channel. Now, I tried hiring Hill and Punt, but they passed me on to another firm, and the firm was busy, so no Social Security disability insurance. San Diego says, you're doing an outstanding job, bro. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Now, family, let us know anything else. What do you think the problem is on the internet? Too much information overload. Is there ever too much information for you to sift through? Because one person tell you file one claim at a time, somebody else say you file 5 at a time. How do you juggle all the different information you get? How you know what's true, what's right? How do you verify? Now listen what Henry say. I would say the best social communication between everyone. No conceited attitudes, asking questions. You ask any question you want here, you welcome. That's how we help each other. Charles say social interaction and benefits knowledge on the oddball conditions. Yes, indeed. It could, but you got to verify. Yes, indeed. Now listen to what Sailor Jack says. I love the social interaction here, and the host H-Town stays on point. I had to learn that. That's why Charleston got that. Y'all go ahead and do this. I got to step away for a minute. Y'all keep chatting, family. Make sure the chat is right, and I'm gonna take it down for a second. So, but go ahead and keep chatting, and I'll be right back. Thank you for your kindness. I'll be right back. That was wrong. All right. Thank you for your patience, family. I'm back. Had this, oh, hold on, back. How did that happen? How did that happen? Okay, give me a second. I had y'all playing on my phone. So sorry about that because I was keeping track of everything going on. Family, we got to watch out for the disinformation. We have to watch out for the hoax, the people. There's so much information that's being put out there. Huh? You say knowledge and community from October Vet. That's what you get from this channel. San Diego say, H-Town Vet Northside, you're doing an outstanding job, brother. So are you. I appreciate you. Henry A says, I would say the best social comment between everyone, the social community between everyone, no conceit. Okay, I read that one, I think. Okay, let me see. I read those. I'm sorry. Here we go, family. So J. Oliver says VA has a lower threshold for disability in the grid rule. I guess that's with Social Security. Standard speaks a different language. You can't limp in. You need to have an ambulance device. Wow, ambulance device. You have to not walk 30 paces for rest. Okay. Oh man, I'm trying to play catch up now, family. OT say, listen. I guess I can go and put y'all little comments back up on the road right there. Listen to people who knows and the ins and outs of the VA process. Yes, indeed. Jimmy Elmore, I am trying to watch everyone and then I look it up to double check it. That's what I'm talking about. Then we got Grace Smith said, sharing with each other and educational information we share on all levels, fam. October said what they get off the channel is I thought this was a Pastor Doug and Lieutenant Dan fan club. No, that's not. You something else. That's a good one. Grace say, I'd have a question when we go into the after party. Okay, well, we're going to get rid of it. Keep it moving here. We're going to keep it pushing. Jimmy says, I think my chronic kidney disease was a slam dunk for my SSDI. J. Oliver say, this channel is in a brainstorming session most lives. That's a good thing, right? I like that. We'll get to the question, OT. Just wait. She's gonna do it in the after party, so let's wait. We'll get to it, OT. She says she's gonna get to it. We'll get to it then. Now Grace says, OT. No, he said if you had some kind of spine condition like as then maybe. I thought it was not me not hearing. I don't understand that. Okay, y'all let me know. Here we go. We got 28 likes and 24 watching. Fam, let's get to it here. Now, information overload. What are we talking about? Information overload. We got so much information. We got to divide the true information from the false information. The people that's trying to get you to lure you in, do clickbait, and the real people that's legitimately giving out information and instruction or promising to help you. Yes, we got to be careful of the clickbait. Yes, indeed. Fake news. We can get you 100% quick, fast, and hurry. So this is why having all this information, where the Vietnam veteran didn't have all this information, we got it, but there's a lot more things that dictate people putting the information out. They don't always put it out just because they want to help veterans, just because they want to give information. If to keep it clicking, once they gave you the information, they may have to chop that information up again and repackage it another way to keep you listening to them. So they follow trends. What's the latest news, the hottest news, and the most popular? Well, that may not be in your best interest. So all information ain't good information, even if it sounds good. You hear? And you got to deal with the fact of this obsession with that 100% rating and the fear that people put on you that they're going to take it away from you. Given these type of environments, people get desperate and they could have everything straight, and they'll mess it all up listening to somebody telling them you're about to lose your 100%. You hear me? Now, then we got other issues where with the Vietnam veterans, the government was mistreating them. Now we got people from within that's undermining. They're doing a lot of hero worship. I don't know, during Vietnam, did they do that? Even the Google clickbait articles, ain't that something? We got a lot of hero worship going around here. You got to be a certain kind of veteran. Are you a combat veteran? Well, that ain't enough. You need to be a Navy SEAL. Well, no, did you fight somebody out in space? I mean, this stuff gets ridiculous. Jay Oliver says, I find that when I got serious about getting my permanent total P&T, I did imagine of total body from head to toe. Oh, you did imaging. Okay. Imaging. That needs MRI. Of knowing injury parts, x-rays of arching parts, CAT scans, or organs, or ultrasounds. Okay. Say you just hit the nail on the head, H-Town. I just had to tell the truth. Veterans on veterans hate is unreal. We all serve. It don't matter. I'm telling people it don't matter. Stop trying to separate. I don't remember. That's the problem with this new era. There's so much information. Everybody get to talk. The good thing is everybody get to talk. The bad thing is everybody get to talk. So you got people saying, idiots up here saying anything to get a click of view. Oh, no, Lord. Now, what about the super soldier syndrome? I got 3 Medal of Honors. I got 2 Purple Hearts. Well, I got 3 Purple Hearts. I got a Army Commendation Medal. I got 3 Good Conduct Medals. Please, family, this stuff needs to stop. We're not in competition with one another. Give me a second here. Because if many of these government entities had their way, so a lot of people now they get rid of all of us. The ones with the medals, that they get rid of us first. The ones ain't bragging about medals, then they get the rest of us. Yeah, but what they do with their Medal of Honor winner, we'll talk about in a second. 100% H-Town. This is what I'm talking about. We need to be united. Thank you, Henry A. 1975 and Jimmy Elmore. We need to be united. Where if they can stroke certain people's egos, they can manipulate them as individuals. Huh? And let me tell you something. Yeah, Dakota Rasta. We call him Dakota Rasta. He used to wear braids. Medal of Honor winner. We about to talk about him. They rank veterans. Oh, non-combat veterans at the bottoms. Really, the combat veterans, top special forces. Some of them don't even do combat. Military officers, female. So it's you let them rank you with this foolishness. It's called injury in the line of duty. That's all that matters. You serve your country. You know how many special forces people I know that are degenerates? There's at least 10 or 15 of them in jail or maybe on death row for doing horrific stuff. It's honorable service, family. Stop getting caught up with these medals. That's how some people losing their life. Oh, they got a Purple Heart. They got a Medal of Honor. I'm getting in the car with them. You better judge them by their character. How many times did some people get written up? Come on now. I will never let another veteran put my service in a box. No. I don't like the ranking. No, we don't need to be ranking nothing. We need to be supporting each other. Ranking was in the military. Oh, here you go. Dakota Meyer. He received the Medal of Honor under President Obama service, I believe. Look what he said. Then, right before they raised him from getting $1,200 or $1,400 a month, $1,400 a month, right before, then now they give him $100,000 a month. I mean, $100,000 a year. He received $100,000 a year as a Medal of Honor winner. I wonder what they paid for. Look what he said. Stop paying people to be broken. But he want to be paid for an act he did in the military. System rewards pain. He's talking about us to say, vet, they say we shouldn't get no disability. And look, we have to stop confusing sacrifice with suffering. I guess he the one that did the sacrifice, and we just whining and suffering. I don't play that. Now listen, 66 say, we all put on our pants one leg at a time. No one is better than the other person. I'm telling you now, they're trying to destroy us from within. What are you serious? 100%, 100,000. Yes, indeed, 100,000. They did that, slip that in when they was talking about when Lieutenant Dan was doing all that greasy talk of, and ain't nobody said nothing about it. They passed it like that. They've been having a bill since the beginning of 2025, and right in the end, November around there, they slipped it in. Come on now. Now listen what Grace said. I've seen Mill let higher ups retire, yes indeed, to get their retirement and then allow them to serve time in civilian. Look up knowing what they've done. Yeah. It was one guy, he assaulted two women in one of those academies. I don't know which one. And I said, oh, he must have like a silver star or bronze star or something. He had 2 bronze stars or something like that. They let him get away and moved him. Then they found catching him later. And ain't nothing wrong with having medals, but you can't be defined by no medals. You're defined by the content of your character. Yeah, yes, tax-free. Yes, brother. Dakota Meyer gets $100,000 a year. He talked reason about us getting VA disability, which he probably gets too. And they gave him his reward right after he slimed us. So listen, Sean say, most of these high-profile veterans that wrote books about their service lied and embellished what they did. Remember, we talked about it. Go back and watch our video. They did, what's that movie? That Kyle, the guy, the sniper, American Sniper. He talking about he was sniping black people he was up on the Silverdome sniping off black people, killing about 26 black people, doing Hurricane Katrina. He said he shot 2 black men, tried to kill 2 black men, tried to rob him, tried to carjack him. Police get there, he pull out a card from the government, did a whole bunch of lying. When they say what a person, the people you shot, he didn't have nobody, just this big liar. I'm telling you the truth. Now you go look it up. Grace say lock up, yes. So we need to do honorable service and people with integrity. And I don't mind. I have respect for anybody winning the Medal of Honor, but nah, they don't give you. Did you get it on the right terms? If you doing all this lying and conniving, I don't know now, because they question us as fraud, right? If we say anything wrong, it's fraud, right? He did quite a few little weird things, but I ain't saying he didn't do his part. I'm saying the man had flaws, real serious ones. He said he punched what that wrestler he said he punched in the face. He wrote in the book. He wrote a lot of this stuff in the book. And he sued him. What's that one that played in The Thing? Not The Thing, Predator. He was a mayor of Minnesota. He was the governor of Minnesota or something like that. He sued him, and they had to take that stuff out. He won. Now, Betty Bob says serve time in civilian federal government contract. Okay. Yes, indeed. Firsthand, so angry. Yes, indeed. Now, listen, U.S. Army grunt. That's old saying, in play, screw up and move up. Wow. Yeah. They don't get fired. They just get transferred. San Diego Marine say, as a Marine veteran, this bothers me. Yeah, I'm sorry that it happened like that. I don't know which one Marine. I don't know what branch. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what branch of service they in. You say Kyle's an interesting story. He did some, what the stuff they say he did, but he was known to embellish and lie. Now, great Smith said an officer was charged for robbing the ship, but that was another story. Wow. Now, they call Marcus Luttrell the lone runner. What is that? I don't know. And Vince Ventura. Yeah, Jesse Ventura. I mean, yes, indeed. Jesse sued Chris Kyle and won because he was lying on him. Talking about he punched him in a bar. They had him all on the radio station. Yeah, I did it. He just making up tall tales. Grace, your ship also, every officer seems to steal. Why y'all trying to give Navy officers a bad thing? Oh, she even named the ship. Now let's continue. We're not beating up on Medal of Honor winners. You okay? Oh, Lord, who is this guy right here? Is this the Purple Heart recipient, Special Forces, Combat Timmy? Is this Combat Timmy? Combat Timmy, Timothy Sheehy, who got the Purple Heart after he put a bullet in his arm in a national park 3 years after he was out of Afghanistan. Now he's a senator. Then told him at the when it came up there that he shot himself, bullet in his arm. Then he went and changed the story several times. So what is it with these guys lying with all this? So I didn't know you can get a Purple Heart in a national park. When that started happening? Say dispensing, okay. How good of a frontline fighter would you be on an empty stomach? All praises to the cooks. Yes, you won't. Army moves on his stomach. Anybody knows that. Oh, y'all talking that Navy talk. They do a lot of stealing. How can they steal if y'all all on the ship at the same time? How can they get the stuff off the ship? I'm tripping out. We got thieves and liars. Wherever we go, it's going to be there, wherever you work at. Betty Bob say higher up officers don't finish out their 20 years in the military. They can serve in federal government contracts and finish out their 20 years. Ask me how I know. Hold on, they can finish out their 20 years in the military doing that. I was on the Spear, okay. Must have been one of the biggest sag-all pistols that go off by itself. Oh, he said it went off by itself. He said he dropped it. Yeah. Grace, outside supply procurement officer kickback from contractor. Uh-oh. That sounds like some serious stuff. Man, I need my grits. SOS grits and SOS, that's that on shingles. Yummy Army mess hall. I love the Army mess hall. But once you eat in the Air Force mess hall, I mean, some of their food, I ain't get the mess hall. It was good. I ate an hanger. They made me a sandwich. I loved it. So what should we do about this veteran divide? Even people like Senator Tuberville, who's trying to reduce the PACT Act effectiveness and us getting benefits, he gets $79 per day for food. And that adds up to more than what a veteran with a 90% disability rating makes. But he's pocket watching us. Metal Act is late 2025. Yeah, they put it in effect, but they submitted it earlier that year. Yes, indeed. They submitted it though. See how, and then we got, oh Lord, Lieutenant Dan. Can we talk about it? Lieutenant Dan say that he said, I don't know if I can organize my life around the disability identity. This is Lieutenant Colonel Gabe. But he organized his business around it. These are a lot of hypocrites, man, that are attacking our benefits. He's certified as a service disabled veteran owned business with the Small Business Administration. So he gets retirement, federal government, from, because they let him finish out his 20 years, even though he lost the leg. He gets VA disability compensation. He has his business where he gets federal contracts from the federal government. But he's saying, well, we shouldn't get with VA disability, that these are junk disabilities, according to him. So watch for the divide. People using their achievements to act like they're better than you. People ranking veterans, secret motives. They start off one thing, but they got a secret motive. Hypocrites and hypocrisy. Watch for the bait and switch, the trick bag. Oh, family, we say the best for last, did we not? Family, we about to get into this thing. We about to close it out. Say monthly amount, $5,700 include the base increase from $5,625 per COLA. Wow. He was probably drunk and showing off his firearm. U.S. Army grunts say the best mess hall I've ever ate at in 1980s was the Air Force. Wow, steak and eggs. I got steak. I cooked yesterday on the grill. I got to finish. To order, and second, if you want it. The Army gets spoiled going over there. Charlton say, once officer gets the taste of the money, they can't help it, I guess. Wow. Now listen what our brother say here. OT says 38 CFR 3.106, Lieutenant Gabe should apply for it to renounce his benefits. You think he gonna renounce it? When they asked him, he was criticizing veterans getting the benefit. They said, are you getting yours? You know what he said? He was on that with Infotap and the other guy. And you know what he said? I'm not going to tell you where I'm a disabled veteran or not. Kick rocks. Because they wearing him out in the chat. Arm breaker. Steak on the grill. No invite. I'm sorry. I should have got you. We're going to have to hook up. We're going to have to hook up one day, Sean. Sean down here in Houston. We're going to hook up, okay? Sean, you all right with me. Now listen. It's on me because I'm invited. I want to monetize my channel. Hey, did y'all see anything said about me super chatting? I had something on my screen talking about super chat. But I don't see it up there no more. It was up there the other day. So I don't know if I'm monetized. I don't think so. They monetize these benefits. This is not something that happened during the Vietnam era. This happened with the newer generations. I'll say more what is that? Which one I told you about? Gen Z was probably right after Generation X. Now listen, now that they've made it a bit profit, this has affected people. Y'all got to understand. People can make money, which can be a good thing, but also a bad thing. Okay, Generation X. Okay. Now, Jason said, Lieutenant Blue Falcon Gabe going to give up his VA benefits. What is that break Breaking news. LOL. Nah, he ain't gonna give him up, because if he giving up, he'll lose his small business loan for being disabled, and he wouldn't get them federal contracts of about how much? How much them federal contracts? About $30 million. They prioritize his business. He admitted it on the website. Hypocrite. Jason M., but he's talking in our pockets. Jason M. say, and the Pastor Doug is going to fight for veterans. Okay, I got jokes. No, hold on. I think he will. Hold on. Pastor Dougie might do that. But he doesn't identify the veteran. No, not Lieutenant Colonel Gage. He said he don't identify the veteran. That's being a victim. Watch out for the scam alerts, because you can get caught up and you can be charged too. And there's no statute of limitations on VA fraud. We getting ready to close it out, fam. We getting there. What are explore your options, family. I want y'all to know this. If you're filing a claim, you can get somebody that's certified to help you. Now listen, I love this here. The destroyer is coming. Say, got here late, but I'm enjoying the information. Thank you. Then Pastor Coach Tubby, he's a PE teacher now. He's probably wealthy now. Everybody show love to the destroyer, always bringing positive information in. If you're gonna file your claim, H-Town breaking it down. All right, the 6 ways to improve your VA claim and exam outcomes. We talked about this. This is one of our videos. Go look it up. That title up. It's not this thumbnail, but it's the title. Number 1, file a VA claim. Fully developed claim may be faster. Put that intent to file in first. Number 2, VA schedule a claim exam. Vet notified by mail. You better verify that they notified. That's another way to keep this stuff straight. Number 3, confirm your exam. Call examiner's office to verify the appointment time, date, and when you get off the phone, once you get the doctor's name, find out about their credentials. Number 4, attend the exam. Make sure you have a purpose to be there on time. Don't be late. Make sure you're prepared for the exam. What you mean prepared for exam? You better know why you're going there. If it's for your foot, you think you're going there to see the eye doctor, that's a problem. All right, number 5, exam report electronically filed after examiner review it. You said, well, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Well, if it haven't went through in a couple of weeks, you need to file that letter and watch the video that we went over. That we had about it, where you ask them for an update, put pressure on them, and look for it in your records. Get a copy of that exam too, after they are submitted back to the VA from the examining doctor. Number 6, VA makes a claim decision, approved, denied, deferred. You need to, whatever they do, if they didn't approve you, make sure you got the full benefits that you were looking for or you qualify for. If they deny you, get the long narrative description of why they denied you. And on top of that, we doing this thing. Family, did you have to do a whole bunch of Who Shot John? Then we just went over this quickly like that. Good information. You didn't have to go into no secret room. And if you don't know what you want to file, submit that intent to file to lock in that back pay till you determine what you want to file for. Man, we just getting it to you quick here. And here are the 15 body systems that they're going to cover. Okay? So they're going to be in one of these 15 body systems. Your disability that the VA cover is in one of these categories. Come on now. Watch our video on that. And we've learned now, this is what I'm saying, now that we're doing this here, we doing it, we pushing it forward. We learn what you going in there for. You got to ask yourself the question. Service connection, an increase on appeal. Which one of these do y'all have, family? Anybody got anything they're trying to service connect right now? Anybody filing for an increase? Put an up arrow or an increase. Anybody have something in appeal? Put appeal on that, fam. Thank you, U.S. Army Grunt. Prayers for you all, for everyone in here. God bless. And happy Easter to those, to all in here, those that celebrated. Thank you. Now, fully developed claim. Make sure you got a claim. So you filing for an increase, Jason them filing for an increase. Okay. Fully developed claim. You learned that. We taught y'all about that. Have your stuff together. Huh? What do you mean fully developed claim? Well, you got all your evidence together and a DBQ. You can get a public DBQ off of the website at the VA, Public Disability Benefits Questionnaire. They call it public, so I'm calling. That's a snapshot at the top. It should be the same weight of a CNP exam DBQ, but try to go to it before they set you up for one. Come in there with all your stuff ready. So these are the advantages that we have now. Charlton say, Grace Smith, nothing improves the morale of an enlisted squid than seeing an officer, what is that? Shackles taking the shame walk down the gangway. Oh, that's horrible. So now put some emojis in there. Betty say she's looking for service connection and I think an increase. Service connection. Yes, indeed. Jason M say, I got an intent in since August 2025 on a supplemental. Don't let it run out. And if you file everything on that one date because you file it and one on the same form, every disability you're claiming, because you filed on another form, it'll only be the one that's submitted first. Well, I submit them the same day. Don't matter. They might put them in the system at different times. Now I got an intent in since so on a supplemental, and now we can do supplementals now. You can do ACE exam. You got all type of options that Vietnam veterans did not have. OT say, remember, FDC can go both ways. Faster approval, faster denial. You better make sure you have all the information in there. Then Sean say, first have to clean up the mess the attorney created, then file for an increase, wait to gather all the evidence and diagnosis I need for secondaries. I didn't know you had a lawyer. I sure hate that it went like that. Taking my time to do it right for the fight. Service connection, okay. Now this is what Sailor Jack says, trying to file a terror for asbestos and jet fuel asthma sinitis. Oh, okay. Betty say service connection and an increase. Jimmy say, if you ain't got no claims you filing right now, put no claims in the chat, like Jimmy Elmore. You ain't got no claims, put no claims. Jimmy don't have no claims. H-Town don't have no claims right now. Jason say, hope that will push me over 100%. We hope it will too. I claim it for you, Jason. Yes, indeed. I do too. So San Diego Marine say has some at the Board of Veteran Appeals. Okay. Now, U.S. Army Grunt say, question, if I just used a intent to file on a claim that just got approved last month, do I have to wait, do another one, intent to file for the new claim? You ain't got to wait. Once the claim is approved, that's going to file under the new claim. Once that claim is out the way, that reset button, now you can just go and do it. You ain't got to wait till you get your stuff together. That's the reason of intent to file. You don't know why you're going to file. You don't know what you're going to file for. They give you time to gather your evidence, see what you want to file. As soon as that other claim get approved, that's it. You can't have two out at one time, though. Jason say, OT have asbestos exposure, but the VA said nothing to connect to it. It's in my STRs. Say, October Vet says the BDD are the best claim types, IMHO, in my humble opinion. You know, I understand that FDCs are secondary. Yeah, okay, file. You have to wait and say no active claims right now for U.S. Army Grunt. OT say no claims here. Betty, not Betty, Sister Grace and Betty Bob's birthday coming up. Sister Betty Bob's is tomorrow on the 6th of April, and Sister Grace is on the 8th of April. Now listen, Grace said, I intend to file as soon as the day one expires. There you go. No claims for October right now. Working on the claim. Okay. I hear you, Grace. Jason said, thank you, Grace. Hope you all also. Yes, indeed. Benny said, there is a few people in here trying to do terror claims. And watch our video on that. U.S. Army Grunt says, thanks, you, H-Town. Oh, no problem. No claim for Jay Oliver. You got everything. You topped off. Now, family, listen. Everybody show love to Betty Bob's birthday tomorrow. And always be prepared, plan, be prepared, and perform what you're trying to get done. When we use the word perform, meaning perform the task needed to complete whether it's going to an exam or whatever. Don't exaggerate, because that's not good. Now, H-Town got the terror information. Just hit them up. Yes, indeed. Still got them. You need some information, and you can watch the video. I just gave the video on terror, and I just did a video on that. And you want more detail, hit me up, and I get it to you. Just say terror, and I got the information, and I get it to you. Our brother gave it to us. Everybody saying happy birthday. Brother OT gave me the information. Now, Jason M say, may you have an amazing day tomorrow. Yes, indeed. Now, family, let's finish this up. I have a couple open. Look, they celebrating the 3 Ps. That's right. When you dealing with the VA, you better plan, prepare for anything, and perform the task you plan. And remember, you need 3 things. H-Town told you this here. Nobody else broke it down to you like this. The disabled veteran checklist, you have to first have a diagnosis. Now, this is easier now. Number 2, you have to have a nexus, which is service connected under traditional, direct claims. And they have to have a measure of severity. Now, that's where the money come in. The more severe, the more you get paid. But all conditions don't have 100% rating. Migraines go up to only 50%. You got this, Betty. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Charles. Everybody support our sister. And when you go into these exams, if you're not going anymore, tell the people that you know are going there signs and symptoms. You're not there to tell them about your childhood. You didn't get enough hugs. You there to talk about the signs and symptoms, the things that brought you there. Like you talk to a mechanic. They want signs and symptoms. What's going on? The car is overheating. The motor shaking. You need to give signs and symptoms. You treat your disability like you're going to a mechanic. You're not there to tell them what's right about your car, but what's wrong with it. Am I right? And another thing that Vietnam veterans didn't really think about, and a lot of us Gen Xers, about the side effects of medication. How long have y'all known about the side effects of medication? Are those side effects? This medication make me yawn. I'm sorry, excuse me. Now, side effects of medication. H-Town, 6 Ps in the Army, prior planning, prevention, piss poor performance. Everybody show love. Betty, then our sister, Grace. Now, listen, one important thing, a source of getting information for your claims is your MOS or your job in the military. Your personnel file would really play a strong factor too. You had any injuries from while it might be reported in your personnel file too. Side effects since 2003 went through it. Wow. Having side effects, didn't really want to indulge. Wow. If that medication messing you up, let your doctor know where they can adjust it as necessary. Who in here ever done a CMP exam through telehealth? Some people say you shouldn't be doing a range of motion, but I heard Raider say he did one himself where they ranged his motion from the computer. Who have ever done a telehealth or over the camera or something? Put a camera emoji, put a laptop in the chat. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't usually do that, but you know that medicine. I had my primary care doctor on my birthday tomorrow and an MRI on Tuesday. Thank you for remembering, Grace. I had honestly forgot about it. Telehealth, yes. Benny did one telehealth. How did it go? Did you get approved? I did one on telehealth. Did you get approved? I done mine mental health on telehealth. Did you get approved? I want to know. CMP for mental health on camera. Okay. Now listen, OT say, get that toxic screening for the ones who are trying for terror. It'll help you get it down the line. Okay. Toxic screening through the VHA. Benny say, no, they denied my sleep apnea. Oh, you did that telehealth? Yes, I got approved. So you got different things when you're doing it over a video conference with a doctor. Now, another thing, when you go on that exam, do what they tell you to do. Do what they tell you to do. Okay, do what they tell you to do. And perform and make sure you do the best of your ability. Now, listen, Grace said, they're always adjusting meds. When I address, they just increase and have appointment with pharmacist 4 weeks later. And here we go, same stuff increase. Yeah, I got an appointment with the doctor by my knee and that CAT scan stuff on Wednesday. So y'all pray for me on that. They're gonna have to decide whether I get it, and I'm gonna need some medication. And because I took the last one, I think yesterday or the day, for the inflammation one. Now, my sleep apnea was an ACE exam, and they called with a couple of questions. Oh, they called you, okay. I did get two. I went from 70 to 100%. So citing OT citing 38 USC 1168, the synergistic combined effects of toxins you were exposed to. Okay. Now, fam, we're going to get ready to move it on. I appreciate y'all patience of being there with us. Remember, every condition has a rating schedule, as long as I'm not missed something. So I did headache through telehealth and mental health. Okay, that's good, y'all. So remember, like for ankles, it's only a 10% rating or 20% rating. Can't get nothing else. No 0%, no 30 or above. And we learned a lot about secondaries that we didn't know. Now, that's another key thing that a lot of Vietnam veterans didn't know about secondary. Any Vietnam veterans prior to when you got out, did they tell you about secondary conditions? Are you keeping all that secret, huh? Yeah, you might have an ankle injury that causes a D injury because you favoring it. And remember, we taught you here about the total evaluation, meaning the exam and what the doctor's medical opinion, they put it in an evaluation report and send it off saying, in my medical opinion, based on the examination. Or they may not even do an examination. Might be enough in there. So they take their report and ship it off to the VA. And remember, if you do any emergency room visit, document it and get copies of it. Because there's a checkbox usually on a DBQ, that's a disability benefits questionnaire, that asks that you go to the emergency room. Whoever saw that, put a siren in the chat, or just say me. If you've ever saw that, heard about the doctor asks you, did you go to the emergency room? Who been asked that by a examiner from the VA? And always get an update, family. See, we don't play. If they ain't contacted you in so long, a month or 2, 3 months, get on that. And you get what you need. Stop filing claims just to file them. Get what you need and move on. So if you got what you need, don't be, I'm gonna file something else, then mess up what you have. So you have. Now, if you're denied, family, you got a year to appeal. See, family, we breaking it down to you. So when you get other people to help you, I have. Look at all these people who have. And then we know now about a duty to assist, that the VA has a duty to assist us with our claim, getting our medical records, insert treatment records. That don't mean they're gonna do it. Private medical records. Uncover the facts, baby. I say, baby, that's the thing we say. I am sorry. Verify the information. That's how you uncover it. Listen here, you understand what I'm saying? Huh? Come on now. What we said tonight. Is there a distance between Vietnam veterans and veterans who served during the Gulf War? Do you think all this stuff has divided us? Talk to me now. Huh? Look, he over there telling the girl, come over here and straighten it out. Huh? Come on. Boy, you better go over there and grab your woman. She might hit you, but listen, depending on what he did. Even in, this is Vietnam today. Look, they have look at a beautiful bridge made out of stone hand. Isn't that beautiful? H-Town doesn't mean they're going to do it. You're right. Tell me what I was saying. H-Town was first to explain duty to assist, never heard before his channel. Okay. See, that's why we want you going to different channels to get information that you need. We all play our role. I ain't sweating nobody. Y'all know I'm here. Man, we almost done with this thing. Here's the thing, family. This was important. Let me pull this back up on the screen. Do y'all feel like, and I'm gonna ask y'all, do y'all, we got to bridge that gap. Do y'all feel like there's a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and veterans of the Gulf War era or the Iraq War era and beyond? And what can we do to bridge? I've seen that, Emily. Charlton, when were you on the spear? Okay. Now let's see. Fam, we almost done. Yes, disconnect. Now listen. Family, we talked about it. There's a disconnect, but we got to do what we can to help each other. We got to reach the young people. Sometimes we easy going, but they may not feel comfortable coming around us because of the knowledge level. They don't want to make mistakes, but we got to create an environment. Major disconnect. Is there a disconnect, family? Let me know. What can we do to fix it? We got a few Vietnam veterans in here. OT says disconnect. Now, do you think the way a lot of the new people moving, do you think the younger veterans want to deal with the older veterans? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Like the old phone, disconnected. Yes, indeed. Oh, 90s for me. 90s for me. Now, did we address the issue tonight? Let us know. Did we address what we were coming here to talk about? Did we bring the clarity necessary? Yes or no? Put that in the chat, family. And remember, we were talking about, and only you can really answer it. Is there a disconnect between Vietnam veterans and vets who served during the Gulf War era, which is up in the present? Did we answer the question? I deal with Vietnam veterans. Okay. Family, I really enjoyed y'all tonight. So did we answer the question for tonight? Did we cover the information? Come on. Y'all saying we covered it. Yes, covered. Disconnect with veterans. We're going to try to bring some unity. We're going to try to put some instruction on this thing. Let's cover our videos that we had here. We talked about the M21 manual, the updates about fugitives of law in particular. Jason say we covered it. October say we covered it. Grace said we covered it and disconnect with veterans. Yes, sir. I have a lot of respect for those Vietnam veterans. Vietnam veterans, we got a lot of respect and love for you. And so we got a lot of respect. Yes, indeed. Covered it. They saying we covered it. Sure did. Yes, you gave an informative. You gave an educated, informative information. Yes, then we covered it. Much respect. Yes. I have respect for all vets. Yes, I like that. Appreciate you. Showing love to the family. Y'all appreciate him too. And watch this video we had. Raider HQ, the Salty Old Marine and H-Town, breaking it down in rare form. We got a little off the hinges there once in a while, but it was fun. Jason M., all veterans. Yes, indeed. Come on, family. Then they raised the age limit in the Army to 42. Do you have anybody in your family 42 want to join? Now, family. Let's see if we're going to do a quick update on VA law. See how that did me? It made y'all disappear, but hold, give me a second. I learned how to do this here. Give me a second. Oh, so I got studio. I learned how to put a studio. It threw my whole thing away from me. So thank y'all for y'all patience. Give me a second. It just gave me a hard time right there, fam. Before I wouldn't know what to do. Fam, you see how many people we got up in here? 25. We keeping a consistent crew. How are we able to keep people in here? Now, who knows somebody ready to join? Say, I was 42 once, 30 likes and 25 watching, family. What we going to really do about it? All right. Let me see what we got here. Let me see. Can I? Y'all talk Fort McCullough. Charleston, I wish I was 42. Boy, y'all are missed. Now, family, let me see. Can I share this right? Because we're going to go over to VA law. We get ready to close up out of here. And we thank y'all for your patience, for joining us. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going on with VA law or the M21 manual to be in particular. Hold on, let me show y'all. We're talking particularly. Oh, look at Dougie. Dougie looking sad. He said, don't mess with my M21 manual. -1. Listen, he changing it, trying to mess with it all the time. So, family, I'm going to take this off the. Oh, yeah, I got y'all up there anyway, so I don't have to do that. So, family, let me pull this off for a second so we can see the screen. They just updated some things. The 2nd, April 2nd, and it's dealing with update to clarify guidance concerning consideration of unclaimed theory of service connection. So I just want y'all to know that theories of service connection is a part of VA disability. See what else they changed. We went over the other ones. They talked about liberalizing laws on the 2nd also, but we went on the ones before that, I believe. Let me see. Maybe not. Okay, we talked about fusion of law. We went over many of those. So that's it. Theories of service connection. Remember, Congress said that that's not legal, but it is. Congress don't know it's in the VA. What's called? Yeah, updates, family. We did that thing. Now let's continue on. Let me get to. Here we go. Now, family, let's see what we got. Yeah, that hit y'all. Watch that video. Make sure you have a voice out here, veterans. Don't let them silence you. We have a video about this. Don't let them silence you. We're not going over in the news tonight. Sure is 42, way too old to be a recruit. They got to meet the same physical standards. I'm 21 and growing. Okay. Now let's see. Family, we about to close this thing out. Thank y'all for being here. Any comments? Where is Pastor Dougie at? Have anybody seen him? About our channel, I'm gonna let it play. Oh, let me put y'all stuff up there. Oh, that's important. We're transparent here. Hold on, I didn't pull that up right. That I want to slow down on. All right, now about our channel. Let's see what I get right. About our channel, for those that are new, don't watch often, we're here to be first informative, second interactive, then transparent, protective, respective, and troll-free. That is our mission statement. Our regular scheduled live streams are Sundays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. How to contact us. Here's our contact information. Say, I look transparent. Now it's the after party. Any last statement? Grace, if you want to ask that question, you can ask it now. You had a question earlier. And I got a question for y'all. What is the weather like where you at? It was raining yesterday, not today. And what is the temperature where you at? Sean, can you give us that temperature before you leave? You here, so I don't know why I asked you that. I'll look it up for you, Sean. We're in the same area. Right now it's 62 degrees, light rain for the next hour. So that's the weather and the temperature. Night H-Town, have a blessed weekend. Families, go on, say your final good nights. Do you remember that question, sister? 62 degrees. Yeah, because it's 62 degrees here. Because we're in the same place, y'all. So OT say warm, comfy in California, 76. San Diego Marine says 58 degrees, Clarksville, Tennessee. And Grace Smith said, Jason, bruh, be well. Yes, indeed. U.S. Army Grunt say, good night, family. Until next time. I wish all of y'all a happy Easter, those that celebrate. And no me disrespect you with the religious aspect of the game. You like the bunny, you like the Easter bunny, that's cool too. Grace Smith say 70 and raining in the Tidewater area. October say it will be 88 tomorrow. Should be nice. Okay. Jason M say, you as well, Grace, and happy early birthday. We might be here on her birthday. It depends. Because that's on a Tuesday. If it falls on a Tuesday, we might have a live stream. I don't know. Jimmy say we'll be having a couple of surgeries this week, so I may not be back the rest of the time this week. Okay, I understand. Now I gotta ask y'all something before y'all leave, and I want y'all to be honest with me. And family, y'all gotta be straight up on. When I was dealing with our brother who came up on the last live stream, the YouTuber brother, I hope I handled things in a respectful way. I don't know how to, before he came up, I was just talking transparently, but did I do all right? Is it something else I need to do to make it right with my brother? Because, I'm about business, but y'all let me know what y'all see. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from or what? Those of you that were here. But me and he's straight now. We was chatting, I opened up the chat. I saw him over on Raiders channel. We cool. But we want to make sure things are understanding. I don't like no confusion around. Betty Bob say 49 degrees clear in Maryland. And say, Grace say, U.S. Army Grunt, blessed good night. 66 say 44 degrees and clear in Cincinnati. Then Charlton say 47 degrees and cloudy in Pennsylvania. Easter Rabbit had a rough day. Jimmy Elmore say good night. Then 66 Love say rest well, family. Then Jason M say, Jimmy, good luck on your surgery. Yes, we pray for a speedy recovery on your surgery, brother. You take your time. Grace says, Jimmy, blessings and recoveries. Everybody show love to Jimmy because he's going in for a procedure. Jimmy, take care from Betty Bob's. Thank you, Jason. Yes, indeed. Oh, it's up on the screen. So Betty say April 8th is on Wednesday. Oh, okay. So I might have to catch happy birthday now, sister. Unless we do something on the end, we'll say it on Tuesday. Hope the surgery goes well, Jimmy. We ain't got to call names out. We not ready to tell you the names, brother. We ain't got to call no names out. If you don't know, just get with us later. Just go back and look at the video. Once we hashed it out, we don't, this person, we ain't gonna call his name out. That's the whole person. So I missed it. Go back and watch. See, if you missed it, just go back and watch. We don't need to be called no name. Like that's just if you was there, if you saw it. If not, go back and watch this. But we had a very good conversation, constructive, and we was able to talk some things out. And you can learn a lot about H-Town if you watch that video. You notice I don't do no stuttering when it comes to stuff. When it comes out, people a whole bunch of stuff I see, I don't say. And we were able to, and I appreciate that, brother. Jason said, yes, you did great. He keeps giving you great compliments on this channel. And I give him great compliments because I went over there because I really liked him, but I want to be, get some stuff clear so he'll know where I'm coming from. He won't come around and then I'm like, hey man, what's up with you? He like, what's wrong with H-Town? That's why we communicate. What? Hold on. Jay Allen say 80s cloudy in Louisiana. Charlton, I got blocked today on the Green Logbook channel, H-Town. Is that an April Fool's joke? Tell me that's an April Fool's joke. Because somebody else said I think Doc Shelley said he got blocked from he quit Raider channel. I don't know. Is there something going on with the software? Good thing you two hashed it out. Yeah. Eventually, if they come to me, I'm always talk to people. I'm not a hard person to deal with. You see me? I ain't got no ego to inflate or offend. I like peace. If I'm not dealing with stuff, it ain't got nothing to do with mess. I don't want to be around it. Yeah, I want you to be happy. Now listen, Benny say, yes, H-Town. He wanted your email him to interview you, his show. Yes, you guys cleared everything up. Well, yeah. See, I like getting stuff out the way so we can move forward. Because we got some other people out here doing some chicanery. You understand? And I'll play. I ain't gonna be nice with them. I'm gonna try to avoid all kind of conflict, but they come around me, I'm gonna show them. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like greasy people. So I appreciate that, brother. He say, why Charlie say, yes, I missed it. LOL. Yeah, why, Charlton? What happened? You leaving us hanging? You ain't said. Oh, he say, you really got blocked for saying a bad term. Firearms was talk. Yeah, because they gonna oh, you use it on here. But no, they'll flag it. So watch using them terms on here because we talk about them all the time. I guess it's how you say it. I don't know. Because remember, we talked about firearms when we talk about concealed weapons and stuff. Now, let's see what I missed. Say, take care. Good luck, Jimmy. I saw the one, but wasn't sure if there was a troll, was one of with the troll or something. Yeah. Nah, Sparky messing with you. Okay. H-Town, I missed it, and that's between you two. I saw you just stepped out. Yeah. I ain't changing. I'm still the same where I'm at. If you know something about me, I ain't gonna change. I don't care if people turn cartwheels. They cool, not cool. I ain't changing. I just tighten the reins. The more confusion happens. Yeah, but I appreciate that. I appreciate there was a lot of men in him to reach out. I really appreciate that. Man, that really meant a lot to me because I really like him in his channel. Dang, right? We tried to get unblocked. 1911, okay. Charleston, he using the veteran community as his dissertation. That's smart. Another great movie goon. Hey guys, yes indeed. Family, Jason, let me ask y'all one last question. What is y'all favorite I guess love drama movie of all times? Huh? What's the greatest love movie? But we're gonna get ready to say goodbye because I can't think of one. Family, thank y'all. We've been here just over 3 hours. We about to get up out of here. And I want to thank y'all for showing up. Give y'all a couple of seconds to answer that. And family, we deal with it. We trying to bring you scholarship. Sleepless in Seattle. Yes, indeed. Sleepless in Seattle. Love story. Okay. I can't think of one right now. Titanic, not mine. Rom-com, something about Mary. I heard Arthur. Everything is Arthur with you, sister. I think Officer and the Gentleman may be. Good one. So, family, I want to say thank y'all for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here, covering the topic. Something about Mary H-Town. Have a beautiful week and hope you get some rest. I probably ain't going to do a live stream until Thursday. Thank y'all. Rocky counts the drama. Yes, drama. It's a love story between him and his wife, the first one. So we want to thank you, family, for being here, for showing up and showing out. And we want y'all to have a great night. Until next time, family. Peace and love.